Välkommen till filmklubben.
I was
For everybody else,
brushed up
that
on my,
means welcome to Film Club.
yeah, wasn't brushed up on that.
I shop at IKEA.
There we go. This is our first Swedish one. I think it's the only one on there. But yeah, I think it's normally Välkommen. It's a Välkommen in Swedish. So yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it is, yes, our first Swedish. The pick of Sandy, the seventh seal. I'm not going to pronounce it in Swedish. My Swedish is not that great.
Better than ours. Better than
ours. But Sandy and Jay, how are you before we get on with it?
I'm good. No complaints. Having a good weekend.
I'm exhausted. Long walk this morning, but a good one. And I'm ready to talk about this film. And although next week is our 50th film club, this week is our 1 year film club.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
1 year anniversary.
1 year ago this weekend, actually on July 21st.
Wow.
1 year ago, we got together to talk about Miller's Crossing. And here we are a year later, 48 films later, but 45 episodes, but 48 films, because Lord of the Rings had a couple, and the Batman special we didn't count as films. But here we are, 1 year this week and 50 films next week. That's pretty exciting. Congratulations to both of you.
Lucky somebody keeps track. Because I'm like, okay.
I tried.
No, that's great. I still remember Miller's Crossing like it was yesterday.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. It's really weird.
I think that was a year ago. It's kind of crazy.
Then look at all that's happened to you in a year.
Yeah, a lot's changed in that time.
Yeah. You've had a very
I got married, had a kid. It's been a lot.
There we go. And now probably watched your first Swedish movie. And I mean that is not those kind of movies, not them kind of Swedish movies.
Gotta be one of the few. I'm struggling to think of one, at least in this style, in a black and white, totally in Swedish. Yeah, I can't.
What about Let the Right One In? Had either of you seen that? Because I really liked that one.
I haven't seen that one.
It's like a vampire kind of film, but it's a Swedish film.
Yes.
Let the Right One In.
Yeah, and they did a Hollywood remake, didn't they? I thought that was Danish or Norwegian.
Oh, I thought it was Swedish.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is the only Swedish.
To my knowledge, it is, but I can't say for sure.
Yeah. No, I'm guessing you two had to watch a subtitle version. There was no dubbed available for this, I'm guessing.
All I had was subtitles. It was on HBO Max, and it was just it was subtitles that were looked like they were edited into the film, not like big white lettering across the screen. Not like
mine was like
closed,
like really weird. It was like white, and it had like a blue tint around it.
Oh, really?
It was really weird. It was really weird.
Yeah, mine was just like big, bold block white letters. That was it. I mean, not too bold, but it was definitely looked like it was edited into it ages ago.
Now, the first time I saw this film, I watched it without subtitles at all, so that I could just kind of experience it. And then this time I watched it with subtitles, and because I felt like even without the subtitles, I knew what was going on, but you didn't get kind of the, somewhat poetic dialogue without the subtitles. So the subtitles are good. I would, even if there were a dub, I would never do a dub. But I don't like dub versions because I think the voice actors, even the good ones, I don't think they catch the expressions of the, of the act. Like I would not have wanted to see Battle Royale with
Oh no,
dubbed.
yeah, it wouldn't go.
No,
I actually noticed that. It's funny you mentioned that because I wholeheartedly agree when it comes to dubbed and not dubbed. I noticed it really bad for the first time. Like I've always noticed with the voices not quite matching expression, but never to like too big of an extent. But the first time I noticed it bad was the first season of Squid Game. I think I started the first episode or the first like couple episodes dubbed, and I had to switch halfway through because man, that actor and whose name is unfortunately slipping my mind at the moment, his expression in his voice is so fantastic with his acting that you really need to hear it, even if you can't understand the language. You just need to hear it to get that emotion across, and he's fantastic. So it was totally throwing me off having this more kind of the dub wasn't bad or anything. It just you're right, it doesn't match up, and it takes a lot away from the actual performance or the whatever it is, show or movie.
So and
why
the seventh seal?
You've started a poll though. I'm distracted now.
Oh God!
Trying to imagine.
It's what did Death? Yeah, it's a very simple. What
I know.
What does he
now
play?
I'm trying to imagine
Twister. Pin. Yeah, that would have been there. Would have been a twist in the movie. Pin the towel on the donkey, chest, or rock paper scissors. And I like how everybody's got Twister because they think it would be highly amusing watching Death play Twister.
Hilarious. Play Death in a game, but how do you win Twister though? I don't even know.
If you fall over, you lose. It's the last man.
Okay, so whoever's left with. See, we've never even gotten to there. You play Twister, then you play Drunk Twister, and then that leads to possibly another kind of Twister. And win, lose, I don't know. It's all just a massive humanity.
And that would be another Swedish movie as well.
It would be. So you asked me why the Seventh Seal. Our Turner Classic Movies channel here in the US is great, and
it's no longer going, is it now? I don't think.
Now on the rare occasion that I had some free time, maybe it was a rainy weekend or something, probably 10, 15 years ago, I sat and watched this without subtitles, and I loved it. And I love the art. I'm always trying to, like, as you get older, you try to learn new things, and I try to appreciate the things that I was not into, like art, liked music, but trying to learn more about different forms of music, trying to learn about art, trying to appreciate film, not just movies, but film. And so sat down and watched it. And the first thing that got my attention was the black and whiteness of this film, and the fact that if you really look at it, the black is black. You know, when you're buying a new television, and these days, one of the things you really want, if you want to have a really good 4K HD experience, you need to make sure the black is black on that television, right? This film, the black is black and the white is bright. And this film was shot in 1956. You would think it was shot in the late 1930s or early 1940s. Such care was taken to make each part of this film a work of art. And then as I learned more about it, because I was intrigued, and I had always heard the name Ingmar Bergman, but I didn't think I had ever seen a film. Later, I found that I had seen a few because I didn't realize some of his films were his films. As I learned about it, it was shot in just a few weeks. And now in Prep for Film Club, 36 days to shoot this film.
Wow.
All outside at the mercy of the weather. But the filmmakers used the crazy clouds, the sun breaking through the clouds. There's a point in the film, I'll point it out when we're talking about it, where the sun beams down on a character. That was totally chance, totally luck. Can't control the sun, of course, but it worked. And, it was a lot of planning, but a lot of luck to make this film look the way it does, which I really like. And then I like the theme. I like the theme of trying to understand, like, what is death? What is mortality? What's our relationship with death? And of course, you can't get a bigger subject if you're thinking about death than the Black Death, than the plague. And so it was intriguing. So I put it on the wheel. And here we are.
Yeah.
Well said.
There you go. So I've probably seen this probably maybe once, maybe if I did, it'd be maybe twice. This is I haven't watched this one, but Jay, your first time you said, isn't it?
Yep, first time.
So it is very. It's a theatre play for TV. There's no mistaking that. There is very theatre drama going on. It's even how the acting is done, the portrayal, but it is, of course, what released in 1957 or 58, whenever it was. You can understand that. It's that kind of thing. Now it's quite hard because you would have put this in your like a fantasy pick, wouldn't you?
I did, and I think when we did our fantasy recommendations, it was in there. We talked about it.
And would I class this as fantasy though? I would. I don't know if I would. It's stretching. It's just because of the death element he's in it. But
I was going to say, is it real to see death? That would be the question, right? Is it more in your mind versus a fantastical being?
And I would definitely say the setting at least kind of lends itself to being somewhat considered fantasy, knights and that whole thing. So I could get the argument to be made for it.
Yeah. But so this is out second if you go by film. This is the 14th century. There's only one I think that beats it so far, and that was our Monty Python of the 10th century.
Has to be, of course. But this film is I believe it's portraying the end of the Crusades, so the last of the Crusades, which is going to end in the 14th century. Not the last crusade, the last of the Crusades. There's no Sean Connery in this film. So we're looking at like between this kind of 1320s and 1350s, and that's the heyday of what we thought was the earliest wave of the Black Death. But now we're learning there might have been earlier waves. That's a whole interesting thing in archaeology happening right now. But the big one that spread across Europe, not quite the impact on Great Britain as the next wave of Black Death that's coming in the 1600s, but this is the 1300s. So the film, this great opening shot of this, crow, raven.
Falcon, isn't it? I was like
Falcon. Someone who's a bird person would know, but black against this gray, cloudy skies with a little bit of, the silver lining, the sun kind of behind.
Now I'm guessing the biblical bits they start off with the opening of the lambs and the seventh seal is sorry, I'm gonna really pay not very Bible study. Let's put it at that. Is that actually from passages from the Bible?
Book of Revelations. Yeah, it is the Book of Revelations, and the seventh seal refers to the last bit when the seventh seal. Each of the seals is open. It brings one of them brings a plague upon the earth. One of them, whatever it is.
See, there's only other one movie I know that from, and that is Johnny Depp's The Seventh Gate. Is it or something like that, or something Gate or something? Isn't it? That's where they say.
I've never watched that one. I've always wanted to.
No, I don't.
It's okay.
That's disappointing.
There you go. It's nothing great. It's like a 6 out of 10. There we go.
Fair enough.
It's just like, ain't bad. It's not bad.
It's been on my list for like 25 years now, so it's not like I was in a rush to watch it. No big deal.
It's got a really weird ending. That's it. But apart from that, it's okay.
But the people of Sweden, Europe, they are weary now with plague. Death is all around. So death becomes humanized in a figure, right? And people are expecting death. Our knight here, Antonius Block, played by Max von Sydow. I think I say that incorrectly. I think it's Sydow or it's Max von Sydow. We mentioned this during 2 film clubs ago when this came up on the wheel, but I know we usually do this at the end, but I do want to rattle off all the places where we see this amazing actor.
Oh, he's loads in it.
He passed away in 2020 at age 90, having been Father Merrin in The Exorcist, Ming the Merciless in Flash Gordon, the Three-Eyed Raven in Game of Thrones, Judge Fargo in Judge Dredd, Tekka in The Force Awakens. He's also been in Dune, Needful Things. He was Blofeld in the Bond films. He was King Osric in Conan. He was the German major in Victory. I think you guys call it Escape to Victory, but Victory. And last but not least, he was Jesus in The Greatest Story Ever Told. He's done it all. He's done it all, from Ming the Merciless to Jesus. He's done it all.
That's quite the resume.
Yeah.
Quite an accomplished actor. And so one of his early roles here as the knight Antonius Block, who went off to the Crusades and has just landed back at his home shores with his squire Jons. And
Jons.
you find, I think,
I think something like that.
I think I think as the film progresses, you'll figure out from his kind of attitude that Jons had lost his faith a long time ago. He's sarcastic, he's very negative, and Block is struggling with that now. He's reflecting back on everything that he did during the Crusades, all the pillaging and murdering in the name of God. And you'll see here, as he's praying on the beach, he's questioning the why and the if God even exists. And you can see the torment in him. What a beautiful shot. Look at the sun setting over the ocean, just peeking over that shot. This is not a studio. This is on a beach at a nature preserve in Sweden. And just the tremendous artistic capability here to film outdoors in such a short period of time and get shots like this. Pretty amazing. But he's not happy with himself. He's questioning his beliefs. He'd been gone for 10 years. And what has he done in that time? Well, he's killed a lot of people. He's not sure why. And 10 years of his life is gone. And as he contemplates these things on the beach, he looks up and he knows who it is. Death has come for him. Now, in the play on which this is based, it's a 25-page play. It's very short. Death actually never shows up in the play, although death is kind of imagined and thought about in the play, except for one description. And the description of death in the play is that death has a great big thick heavy cloak that he wraps you in, and it's not a bad thing. It's comfort. And the example used in the play is the witch that is burned later in the film is, I think in the beginning of the play, had already been burned, but then the characters later are talking to her after they've crossed over, presumably. Or she never died because she's a witch. You have to think through that. But she describes death coming to her after the pain of being burned, and he wrapped her in his cloak and somewhat comforted her and released her from her pain. And so this is drawn from that very brief description in the play that preceded the film. I won't say inspired the film, because there are other inspirations for the film that we'll talk about later. So death is here, and the knight has a chess set for some reason sitting up in front of him and is trying to forestall his death. Maybe not to defeat death, because he knows he can't defeat death, but maybe he can stall death a little bit by playing chess. And for some reason, death agrees. And they sit down and they have a game of chess, but the chess game kind of follows the knight on his trails. They're not completing the game here on the beach, but they begin the game on the beach before the knight and his squire take off. Another beautiful shot. I'm just in awe of the cinematography here.
Well, it's lucky they got that cloud base as well. It's
It
like because they got
is.
like the lighting correct, but having that cloud base, like literally, it was lucky. But I was gonna say like this there are so many recollections. I can't remember all the movies where they, where to delay death. Let's play a game. And what is your game of choice? Chess. There's so many like things. I wonder where it was written down that chess likes a game of chess, because you get it throughout like cinema, like things when they actually, get death, and we're gonna play chess, like that. And there's so many like pop culture bits as well, like it's on, even if you go to like Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, they try and outwit him by playing games.
You can't beat him with force. You can't beat him. The only way, maybe you can trick him. Maybe you can trick death. But there are artworks that, now I will talk about what inspired the play and then the film. There are works of art, one in particular by Dürer, one of those great old artists that paints the bleak, the Dürer and Bosch and, those kinds of, there's a couple others. There's one with a G. I'm still learning my art. There's one with a G. Is it El Greco, who also has those very, stark, scary portraits of death, and it kind of plays into some of the themes in the film, because the artworks were, okay, were they intended to scare you into behaving, or were they intended to scare you into joining a church and doing your penance and paying for indulgences and all those things? So, it's like the whole corruption of organized religion starts very, very early. And it's a little bit of both. It's not one or the other. There were those who were true believers who believed you had to continue to be repentant, and, if not, these horrible things, these terrible, torturous things were going to happen to you. But some, not all, some of the religious leaders used that to put forth their their religion, and to progress themselves, shall we say, to get money and donations and obedience. And that's whether that's the Catholic faith, which is where the Crusades were launched, and the Spanish Inquisition, because no one ever expects the Spanish Inquisition, except the fact that you were told, technically, in historically, you were told ahead of time that the Spanish Inquisition was coming. Or whether it's the various, when you look at England, and the crown passes between Catholic and Protestant, and both sides are persecuting the other sides, right? And then we can even expand outside the world of Christianity. So there's always that element of religion that is, incredibly benevolent and helpful and faithful and pious. And there's always the element that is going to exploit people's weaknesses. And one of people, probably our biggest weakness, is our fear of death. And so putting people in utter terror of what death is was definitely a subject of artwork. But the idea of playing chess with the devil to outsmart the devil, that's in some artworks that influenced Ingmar Bergman. Now, as far as the play goes, he was teaching theater, and he had a class of 10 students who he thought were particularly good students, and he wanted to show off their skills, and he didn't have a play in hand that had 10 what he would call equivalent roles, or 10 roles where they could each show their various skills. So he asked them all, like, what role would you like to play? And one said, well, I want to play, an actor in a play, an actor being an actor. And another said, well, I don't want to talk much, but I'm a physical actor. And so he, taking that inspiration from the art as well as another artwork showing Death holding hands with those that he's leading off to the other side, which you see at the end of the film. He came up with the play that's called, I'm trying to say this, Tramal Ning. Tramalning, Tramal Ling, which means wood painting. And the image of Death playing chess against his would-be victim is what was in a wood painting by Dürer. So he wrote this play, 25 pages, to be able to showcase the talents of each of his students and reflected in each, of the main characters that we see here in the film. So he's playing chess, but it's time to go head inland. Now, the knight has a castle, presumably miles and miles and miles away. So the knight and his squire have to make it to the castle. And along the way, they know that the plague is infesting the land. So Death's going to hold on for a minute. They have a little chit chat. They play a few moves. But the knight and his squire are going to head inland to head toward the castle. Now, James.
Sorry, I'm going to be right back.
Did we lose spaces here? Yeah. I can't control the pictures here.
I was going to say,
sorry,
James.
I'll be right back. I'll be 10 seconds.
That's
I've got a little bit of drama inside.
I was going to ask a question. So, Jay, I'll ask the question. So I'll ask the question. While you're, what kind of impression are you getting of the characters? At this point, have you gotten an impression of the knight and the squire and what they're thinking and, what their, any early thoughts about their belief system?
So honestly, at this point, really what I'm getting off of them is more about what I felt like the movie was going to be about or the story was going to be about, which was kind of just a bit of just existentialism and that kind of, anytime you're sitting down having conversations with death itself, I feel like movies or stories tend to go in that direction, asking those kind of profound questions and all that. So it felt like it definitely set the stage for what I thought was going to come next.
Drama reverted.
Perfect. It set the stage for kind of what I thought would come next and turned out to, pretty much be what did come next.
I don't think we find out at this point in the film. I think it's just slightly later that we find out, amid all of his internal turmoil, Antonius also, he feels so much guilt for the Crusades. He feels guilty that he's essentially lost his faith in God, or at least he feels like what he was asked to do in the Crusades was not for the glory of God. But he's figuring out in his head that maybe he can do right before he dies. And he wants to find one noble deed to do before he dies. And so that's why he's stalling death, not because he thinks he can escape death, but because he wants to find one noble thing to do before he leaves life.
Mm-hmm.
So we're heading inland, and I think at this point we get this is where we start to get the songs and the
squire.
From the songs, I mean, I think this is where you also get a good view of the squire. He's no longer in turmoil. He has lost his faith. He truly believes that what he's been doing is has not helped, has not been worth it. He's very negative. But there's still songs and poems and things that I guess squires do to entertain their masters, their sires, while they're traveling around the world. Amazing. Their clothes don't look very dirty, I thought.
Yeah, for washing up on the shore.
Fighting for 10 years and washing up on a shore, their clothes are quite clean. And this guy is quite clean shaven. But they've both had a really, really hard life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should say 10 years, and if he's a squire, so I'm guessing he was a younger squire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then he turned out to be so they both left as teens, didn't they? So wherever I'm guessing Antonio is older at the least. I don't think so. But yeah, from this they come across, of course, the squire does, because he doesn't actually tell him the Black Death.
Hey, can you tell me where the inn is? Hey, dude, where's the inn? Ah! So did he tell you? Nah, I didn't have much to say.
No, he said he was well spoken, didn't he, or something like
eloquent.
that?
Quite eloquent. Yeah. But I think the knight knew that meant he was dead. I think he knew. I think he knew.
Yeah, and then we get introduced to our band of actors, don't we?
Our band of entertainers.
Now traveling actors. Yeah, what is a little trio of a group, and then we get the what was his name?
So his name is Yoff.
That's a Yoff.
Yes, because his wife was Mia, I think.
Mia, and the other guy Scott.
Yes, and he's has visions, and he's like that. She always that, and I'm guessing what it's supposed to portray, especially in this one, it's supposed to be like, death is already, but he thinks it's the Virgin Mary, doesn't he?
He does, and Jesus. He thinks it's the mother of God and the baby Jesus, and he says she's beautiful, and he's all excited, and Mia seems to. I don't know if she believes him, but she placates him. She's like, "Oh, your visions again." Yeah. But he's really taken. He says she's so beautiful, and I saw the child, and he's sincerely he believes he saw what he saw, and maybe he did, They have a little one. They have Mikhail, who oddly she just kind of plops down on the ground. He toddles away, and they're just
okay. So I thought I was the only one that noticed that. The whole time I'm like,
different times.
I think Train Spotting kind of got in my head, so I'm like, please tell me something's not going to happen to the baby. Please tell me something's not going to happen to the baby. I thought the same thing.
I know. I'm waiting for a animal to come anyway. But no,
back in that he's got a spiky stick. It doesn't matter. He's got to grow up quite
okay.
I was just praying it wasn't going to be something awful like crawled into a river or something. Like, please just tell me the baby's okay.
No, but they actors. They chit chat, and they're separate. They've heard news of the plague, but because they're they're a traveling band. They've been able to avoid it or outrun it. But there's a skit that they do where one of them portrays death, and they have a skull mask, and they make comment that the priests pay them well for it to keep people scared. And there's a whole dialogue around the priests wanting people to fear death. In this case, the plague is real, but in other contexts, in other historical times, the clergy or the people in power in whatever religion would amplify bad things happening, whether it was disease or earthquakes or bad storms, and always say that they're being punished by God. And we can see that even today, right? We can see whether it's those in power in religion or government or media who want to question, and even people making silly comments over acts of horror and man-made atrocities, and saying that, well, you're just being punished by God. And that just continues to pervade throughout history. So here we have actors who are being paid by the band of priests to portray a skit showing death coming for the people.
I love that when people notice different things. Who cut that grass? The sheep did.
It's not going to be even, Daryl. It's not. It's not. They only had 36 days to film this, so they couldn't manicure the lawn.
Actually, the grass is well cut though. Even that, it's like, yeah.
All things considered, it could be a lot worse. You're right.
But the clothes are so clean. I keep commenting on the clothes.
Yeah, I think because of the black and white, I didn't even notice it all movie until you just pointed it out. They do look really clean for people who.
Yeah, but you got to go with that, because you think about even when it turned to color, And then Hollywood still, they would have really,
They
war
went
movies
overboard.
or like
I mean,
really
yeah,
colorful.
Robin Hood,
Mhm.
give me a break.
Yeah, well, it was, like Errol Flynn stuff, or you've got like stuff in like the Tudors and all that, where it's all everything's nice and clean.
It still happens all the time. Just the first thought that comes to mind is the Avatar show on Netflix. It looks like everybody's just in like cosplay costumes because everything's clean and nothing looks like they've been dealing with 100-year war or living in tough conditions. It just looks like clean cosplay costumes. It's still an oversight that happens even to this day.
But yeah, for 50s, coming into the 60s, I can take it. Like
it's not bad.
It was probably taken from a theater, like their local theater program, and they said we need it back by Saturday. Don't get it dirty. Like that.
I'm sure.
Wouldn't shock
that's
me.
like it's like because they didn't. They probably didn't have they're not going to have like what big budget has as a costume design people that will stay there for hours making something look like it's a week later.
The old lady with the horn-rimmed glasses in the rack saying, "This better be back by Tuesday at 10 o'clock."
But so we now get them the knight and his squire going to a town, I suppose you want to call it, a little village.
A very empty village.
Yes, and it's very empty. And then, of course, we get to meet, I'm guessing he's the clergy painter. I'm guessing that. And then he's been told to, as you can see there, to put the fear in people. And he even says it, doesn't he? He's like, death is coming for us all, and we need to portray it. So this is the Grim Reaper, death, whatever you want to call it. He's it's up on the wall. And so he's slowly telling the squire of he's what's really going on, the village and all. That very whilst into that out, we see more portrayals of like it's the penance of man to get delivery into heaven. It's very, as what Sandy just said, the control of the religion, especially the 14th century. You can expect it is the fear. If you do not give penance to, you will end up in.
Well, I think we've lost you. Talk again.
Hello.
Oh, you came back.
Yep, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay.
Your mic went out for a second. But this conversation between the artist and the squire is really important because everything you just said, it kind of gives the background of what may be going on. The priest kind of exploiting this this great disaster that's happening. But this particular painting, he goes into this band of people who walk through from village to village, kind of flagellating themselves with spikes and whipping themselves and doing penance and trying to convince others to do penance as well. I mean, this stuff happened. This historically is correct. They, and it's even, horribly portrayed in a film that will never be on the Wheel of Film, I hope, but that dreadful
Is it what I'm thinking of?
Da Vinci Code.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw this.
Oh, see, when I saw this and you get the later scene, all I could think about was Monty Python.
And then there's that. You can kind of be funny about it because there's Monty Python.
Every time when I got it, I was just like, giggling to myself. I was like, yes. They just ripped that off. Yeah.
But I mean, it's a huge turning point in the civilization of the world. Even if being American, we all have ancestors. Many have ancestors who were European. Whether you're in Asia, whatever part of the world you're in, even if it didn't affect your locality, that for hundreds of years, 1/3 of the human race was wiped out. That's pretty big. That's pretty substantial. And although there were, I'm sure, somewhere scholars figuring out that, oh well, does it transmit by air? Does it transmit by water? Is it the fleas on the rats? Is it whatever? There might have been some of those folks, but for the most part, it was religious leaders and other let me say this, religious leaders and possible charlatans sharing what we would call today disinformation to get the people all riled up and to exploit and take advantage of a really horrible situation and not making it any better. Walking from town to town with open wounds is probably the last thing you want to do in a global plague. But that's what they did. So this conversation here serves to tell that and give the backstory for that so that the viewer knows what's going on. Hey, Davey Verse, good to see you again. Hello.
But I do like some of the kind of the cures of like people found out if you go by history is like cholera is like why didn't like if it was like parts of London were nearer pubs and it had a big drinking culture didn't get cholera so much as like the towns that didn't have like pubs
alcohol
around. It's because
alcohol.
they had because they had to boil the water.
Yep.
And then they realized that's the reason. And it was like countries that
out of the wells
don't have alcohol. It's like because they're not it's you're not boiling your water. It's like it's mad. Yeah. Like that kind of just curiosity. And then but this is it could have been nobody knows really. There's so many been plagues like through the without earthing everybody up and doing bone DNA on everyone and figuring out what they did. What technology is probably not all there yet. It's you're never going to get where the origination came from.
Nope. But these two, they have this bonding moment, and I like as the squire leaves, he gives this little salute to the. He's like, he's doing the eyes. He's like, bro, we understand each other here because they both kind of agree that.
Well, they just start having a drink. Like that. On it. Should we just? Yeah, I think it's a break time. Get the owl out.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Get the Swedish schnapps out.
So they're looking for the inn. They're gonna refill their water. They're gonna get a meal. They're gonna hang out.
But first, we get again. It's
a night.
Yeah, and I did this shot, and I just like it. It's a great shot. I think again, it shows the religious intent of like even it's a modern like set of course, but like that is when you walk in, Jesus on the cross, bang, it's like that to see that as people forget like everybody's illiterate and it's like that. So except for the ones reading.
That's right. That as well.
And they're reading in Latin, like so you won't understand what they say, but they will tell you in your native tongue. If you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. So it has quite a big impact, isn't it? So it shows straight away. Him, and of course
it is. And that imagery, when we think about that imagery, though, like I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school. Those crucifixes dripping in blood were in every classroom from the time I was 4 years old. You get slightly desensitized to it, but I have to imagine that someone who didn't grow up like that, if they walked into a Catholic school, would be absolutely horrified by what is in children's classrooms. With all respect to my, to the faith I was raised in, that's quite horrific. It is absolutely 100% horrific. My niece and nephew, God bless them, for Easter, they were doing the little charcuterie board for for our Easter brunch, and they made the charcuterie board into Jesus crucified on the cross, and sorry, he was made of sausage and cheeses, so it was Jesus. And that's a true story.
Well, I have officially heard of everything now.
There we go. That'd be great. That would be a brand to the market, people. Sandy's got it copyrighted here for Sandy. There we go. That's the market.
And we're like,
you could sell that.
I've got a 7 and a 9-year-old making a crucified, bloody, beaten human being for our lunchtime snack on Easter. It just is what it is, and it did everything.
Was it on like a cocktail stick or something as well?
No, like just on a board. Just the crackers were the cross. Little bits of cheese were molded into Jesus. The sausages were like around like the mount that he was on, the Golgotha mount that he was on. Yeah. I mean, we could have just squirted some ketchup and made it really real. But yeah, sorry, Mom and Dad, I'm not making fun. But if we step back, and we think, okay, a combination of masterful marketing over 2,000 years, and not mocking my faith at all, but let's look at this realistically. 2,000 years of making sure that you're showing absolute terror to people who, for the most part, are, to your point, illiterate, poor, need a job, need food, need to care for their families. Okay, we're going to listen to the priest. Later on, I got this crazy king that wants to, yes, Jesus Christ, absolutely. And later on, I got this crazy king who's who's making me say that I can no longer, worship in my faith. I have to agree that he's the king of the head of the Church of England. Where did the Church of England come in? Then his daughters come on, and one of them burns the people who were in the true faith, and the next one burns the people who were not in the true. Think about how it's amazing that we're here today, even that we are here today, and we can be slightly respectful to religion. But this is how you keep people you keep control over people, is to scare them. There's nothing more scary than the unknown, and there's nothing more unknown than death. And so our knight, he's done some horrible things. He has a conscience, and our consciences are shaped by our faith, but they're also inherent. And he's like, this is not right. All the things I've done, I don't know. And he peeks over and he sees through the grate. There's a priest ready to hear confession.
This confession, it's just literally out in the open. It's like that.
Yep.
You're hoping your next door neighbor's not going to hear what you did to his wife.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, my God. It's like, I'm here for confession. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it's.
Yeah, he's just, he's behind the ceremonial grate, and he's telling this person in a cloak that he has doubts and he doesn't like what he's done. And he's also shares that death has come for him, and he shared that death's playing chess with him, and he shared that he's going to beat death, and death turns around and says, here I am,
I'm always one. Yeah, I always knew this was your plan. And he goes,
yep.
So.
And so the knight has just now told his opponent his strategy. And because death is always one step ahead. And he's I wonder, I suppose I'm thinking death at least has some element of respect for the knight, or obviously not treating him as an equal, but there's something there, that he has some maybe tiny bit of respect for the knight, and for his attempt at least to delay death along the way.
I kind of took it as like a curiosity, when death comes for people. I'm sure he's so much, theoretically, or however you want to look at it, you would imagine when death comes for people, if it was an embodiment like this, he'd hear a lot more begging and pleading and please. I think the response of, why don't we play a game, is probably something that just so out of the normal, so out of his everyday, work, so to speak, that it just made him curious, and he just kind of wants to see where it goes. He's got time, and it's not very often that this comes his way, so why not? Let's see.
You got to take into account that death
I'm in no rush.
Death is infinite,
right? Like you're coming to me one way or another.
time does not relate to him. It's like that. So it's like, when your time is done,
right? Whether it's here on this beach or at the end of this chess game, or 20 years from now, you're coming to me one way or another. So sure, let's have at it. Let's see. Which I think is a pretty interesting kind of concept to approach this with.
So the knight leaves the chapel and goes and
we'll get some more drunkenness, and then
yeah, goes and grabs his squire and says, "Come on, we've got to get moving along." And along the way, they come across this alleged witch who's obviously been tortured and is dehydrated, and later you find out she probably wasn't just blindly accused of being in league with the devil, but she's having some kind of hallucinations that she actually believes that she's walking with the devil. And so she's been condemned. She's here in the stocks. They're preparing, kind of, quote, sanctifying the ground before they haul her off to her execution. And there's Death again. Just he's hanging there. He's waiting. Now, Death, not to be confused with the devil. Remember, the Death is death. Death is not neither good nor evil. Death just is, and just
the
happens
ferryman.
to be. Yeah, has to be. So he's there. He's waiting for her whenever her time comes. And there's a conversation, and I think this is where maybe the knight is thinking, okay, is this my good deed? Is there anything I could do here? He talks to some of the captors, tries to give some comfort to the witch, but no, this isn't quite the one that I think is that I'm going to be able to help in any way. They then make their way to, I don't know, the inn and a little gathering.
Well, they go first, don't they? First go to this, like because they're now into the village, aren't they? Where nobody's actually there. So yeah, and then of course they go
little abandoned.
The squire then goes
revel.
Into he is stealing from the dead, and that's it. So when the dead, he's stealing from them, and then whilst he's there, a local woman, doesn't he? Then he goes to do his deed, a split like that. What everybody knows what I'm going on about, and then of course the squire kind of recognizes him from somewhere in the past. He's always been that. If I see you again, I'm going to cut you. Yeah,
well,
I will mark your face.
He was the one who worked for the priest that convinced those two to go on crusade. He was the one traveling around and sharing the stories of doom and gloom, and now this is another another indication that all was not as it seemed, because this guy who was pious and probably a charlatan of some sort, he's now been reduced to stealing from dead people. So he certainly isn't as faithful as he expected everyone else to be, even to the point of sending other people off to these terrible crusades. And so Jans, as you said, recognizes him and tells him, the next time I see you, it won't go so good. I'm letting you off easy this time. The next time I see you, you're going to be marked. He's going to slash his face. But then our squire, again, these guys also did terrible deeds. He's not such a good guy either. He sees a young woman and says, well, I need a housekeeper. You're coming with me.
Before that, he kind of goes for it. Goes, well, I saved your life.
I saved your life.
I want a bit of nookie. I hope I'm going back to my wife. I haven't seen her in 10 years. I hope she's dead.
Hope she's dead. I'm going to need a housekeeper.
Yeah, well, yeah. And like, okay, that turned out, yeah. So yeah, he's you can see he's a bit like that. He's a changed man, I'm guessing, from years in the Crusades. Things like,
sorry, just got an ad on my phone there. Sorry about that. it was Gal Gadot saying Kal-El, no. So glad everybody got to experience that one again.
These actors are much better, even though we don't even know what they're saying.
True that.
They're much better than Kal-El. No.
That was great.
But she doesn't have a choice, right?
No. Well, she just turns that she's like, I've got that's my best hope. Yeah.
Legs
but
coming.
But I'm guessing this is like we've always said this previously, when Hollywood or whatever don't get it, film industry don't get it. This is a different time. This is the 14th century. women are treated a hell of a lot different than they are probably centuries later. So this is I don't know, I can't remember when Christianity came into Scandinavia anyway, but you've still got that kind of feel. So she's not so she's got what's my best chance of survival? No, he is, even though he's seems like a bit of a nasty work, but at least he's got a knight, and that's the better option for me. So she swans off to them. So
So this actress, Bibi Andersson, is one of Ingmar Bergman's 5 wives. Speaking of wives, he was married 5 times during his life and had 8 kids, and she was one of them. And she stars in a number.
She had 8 kids.
No, 5. 8
kids the 5
among the 5 wives. 1 or 2 for each one. But she also appears in a number of his other films as well. So one of his favorite actresses, and she did come back. So she was kind of married. Maybe she was number 2, I think. But the end of his life, they did this great big retrospective of Ingmar Bergman and honored him with all kinds of honors. And she was one who did some presentation during that ceremony. So they must have had an okay relationship afterward. I don't know how the other 3 fared. His last wife did pass away of a disease before he passed away, but the other 3 and her, at least hers must have been an okay divorce, I suppose. But he got around. He certainly did get around.
It wasn't beheaded, divorced. Barry had to work it out. I can't remember what's the rule? Henry VIII.
Divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived.
I always forget it.
I know that from 6, which is a really good musical, by the way. Awesome musical. And for historians, they actually threw in a few little interesting, sorry, going off on 6, but for all the people who like the songs and music, it was fun. But for people who are real historians, in the lyrics of the songs, they threw in some things that only real historians would know. So it was actually quite well done. But they're off, and there's a little performance going on. So now we see our troupe, our little trio. Okay, I don't get the whole. I don't get the whole this whole thing, the juggling, the singing.
I'm guessing it's like that. Like you got back in there, you might have one person might be able to get, when they're drunk, have a little sing song, but like this would be so different, wouldn't it? Back then, like even if they're bad, like just a traveling kind of,
I guess it's something,
kind of circus.
Right?
It's something. Yeah, it's like what else you doing? If like imagine. Like people would go. Can you imagine people now? How mad they would go if you just turned off the TV and the internet.
Just started playing a lute.
Just like they were just like that. What I do? Yeah, I'm getting my lute out. That's it. Jade starts juggling. It's gonna be it'd be like
Also
down the local tavern.
Speaking of the juggling in this movie, I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they tout this guy as some master juggler. Joff, is it? I don't know if you guys saw him juggling, but it was not juggling at all. It was just moving the balls.
2 balls, and it was only 2 of them.
I had a huge issue with that. I mean, you can't keep calling this guy a great juggler and have him do that. You got to give him a different skill set in this movie. But that was my one random gripe about his juggling ability.
And then you get
what's this guy? Scott. So
Scott. Yeah.
So Lisa, or Kunigunda, who knows which is her real name. I was like, I have an ancestor named Kunigunda, and I always thought like that is the weirdest name. Bless anyone out there who's named Kunigunda. From my
can't be that many now.
My Polish and my Russian side of the family, and I was like, wow, that's an interesting name. And then here, there's a name, Kunigunda, but she's purposely flirting with him, like she's trying to seduce him. So is she mad at her husband, who you later find out is the blacksmith, or what? But this is all down to her. Like
they actually say, don't they? I think later on that she's a bit of just be honest, a bit of a wild one. She doesn't care. I'm guessing she's had most men in the village.
Probably.
And because she's got her little finger around. Oh, yeah, like avenge me kind of thing. But we'll get later. It's like, oh, please come back. And like, yeah. So
how awful. So she runs over and
our townsfolk. I like that. I love how they're just like, we're watching this and it's probably terrible, but at least
There's
it gives
else to do.
Yeah. It's not, but then whilst they're ease off, he's got his little Y on her. They drinking, little picnic before they go off into the woods. I mean, so he's abandoned the trio that are still going on. We can hear the music in the background until they hear a different chant, a different kind of music, and this is where we get
the Wailers.
Yes. And everybody's mindset very, very quickly changes, doesn't it? It's like, it's get down on your knees and pray to the Lord, or what are you doing here? Getting entertained, enjoying yourselves when you should be doing penance to God. It's so
you're gonna be punished. You're gonna be punished. This is God's will. And they're chanting. They've got the incense going. They're whipping each other and getting cut with the cat of nine tails and bleeding all over the place. And again, so smart to go from village to village with open wounds during a plague. But they're probably the ones who brought the plague. But that's what they did. And in the end, they're just hoping to scare people.
Yeah, well, that's what this whole speech is. This is a scaremongering speech, isn't it? It's like, how dare you? You're not for the church. You're not, giving up for the church. Your meaningful life as it is literally one day away or whatever. A moment away from death. It's literally a rhetoric that is probably rehearsed and he probably is a real believer of it, but he's scaremongering everyone because they're the educated. That's what they've had all their lives, is they're the lesser folk. So and of course then they just go off. I love it. He has to go to his rant and I'm off again.
Create a massive scene and just out the door.
But it is, isn't it? It's just like that moment of pure oh crap. So they just go, and then of course they have a little moment between themselves about the meaning, I suppose. But until we get the blacksmith. Have you seen my wife?
Have you seen my wife?
Have you seen my wife? I love it.
Have you seen my wife? His name is Plog.
Okay.
And poor Plog.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drunk as well. So isn't it? So and then of course it goes. Then we go into the tavern where we just get again is the locals absolutely scared of what they kind of witness. It's not like but now they're getting rumors. So it's like that the village that I've heard. That once cousin that dog once across the road was speaking to somebody, and that plague came to their village, and everybody died because they didn't pray enough or they didn't give enough, and it is all just about scaremongering. But like again, it's great. Like all the shadows, they
really is
just that kind of close up. But the details they got, like you think this is like 1950s cameras they used, that just that lighting to get that lighting to pop, and like give that details of their face. Like the makeup design, like the limited they were, and that just that ceiling lighting they got correct. It's just
Daryl, bring out your dead. I'm not dead yet.
Bring out your dead.
I'm not dead yet. I'm not dead. And now, once an actor, all's an actor. Poor Joff. Joff is just enjoying a meaty turkey leg of some sort.
But this was a thing, wasn't it? Back in the actors, isn't like back in the day, this day, even at that, they were scoundrels. They were because they lied.
Favorably.
No, because you're a liar. You're not to be trusted because your living is you lie for a living. So yeah, they're not the trustworthy folk, I guess. Well, I was gonna say now today, but I think we're starting to learn.
We all know actors are just moral as moral as
I believe everything they say and who to vote.
We all know they're just fantastic people still to this day.
Well, there's even that thing in in British aristocracy, even kind of going into the 1900s and the old money versus the new money, and a lot of the new money was entertainment and acting, and the British would look down, oh, not an actor, not of all people, not an actor here, no.
An actor.
Or even one of our favorite films, Gosford Park, when the Ivor Novello character shows up and like, oh, not an entertainer. Maggie Smith is like, I can't be dealing with them. They're just
but you get that even in other ones, like the new money from America, and then they come over to go, but that time period.
Oh yeah,
new American
needed
new
our new
money.
Yeah, those oldies needed our new money to keep up those old great estates and those stately homes. They needed those young Vanderbilt ladies and all the other women who crossed the pond to help out with those big dowries to keep Downton Abbey up to snuff. And that really happened. But Ravel, so you got the Smith accusing Joff, and
he doesn't accuse him at the moment, does he? He's like, do you know any actors? He's kind of like, and then it's when he's an actor, so if they all like it, he's done it as well. He's had a bit of your wife. He knows where she is, and he's like, what's going on? He's just like eating his like leg of chicken.
He's a troublemaker, this guy.
Yeah.
And then makes him dance for his dinner. Makes him dance.
But it's not even that. Like, what it shows is that everybody, it's entertainment. Another form of entertainment. He's getting bullied. Everybody knows it's probably wrong, but it's just it's entertainment. I'm bored. It's entertainment. So they all join in with a bit of the excitement until, of course.
And he said before, if I ever see your face again. And he said he's going to keep his promise.
Yep.
He's going to keep his promise. And he does. And he slashes him across the face.
Yep.
And gets Joff out of there. And
whilst then Joff, the last thing he does is because he is trying to sell the bracelet, the golden bracelet or silver bracelet, what he got off a dead person. And the actor quickly swipes it away before he leaves. Yeah. And then we get back into the nice seaside village of Lagaine. It just, I'm guessing at this point he's waiting for the next move. Things like that.
Yeah, because he gave up his strategy, and so now, what's next?
Yeah.
And so he's
But whilst he's there, he looks up, and it's a very. Yeah, it's a family scene, and I'm more like that. He just, he's more of a, this is nice. It's like, just a mother and son just playing. So he approaches, and then she's hospitable to, they're just, what did you do? She's goes out like, do you want to go for dinner in a minute? But like the whole thing is like, I don't like myself, doesn't he? Actually says this here.
Does,
like it's sort of like, why? It's like, I'm bored. That's it. I'm bored with my company. And she goes, what, your company of your squire? Like, no, I don't like myself. Yeah. So I always think like that, and I used it a little bit earlier. I don't if it's the loss in faith, the killing, blah blah blah, or as it was where you get a lot of people like with PTSD.
Yeah.
Why was it? I'm coming home. Why was I better than them? Kind of thing like that. There's probably that as well, because he probably went off a group, but it's why me? Why did I get to come back? So like, what am I coming back to? 10 years, you know. Yeah, in that schemes, yeah, cross all the seas, and then you're still surviving, and then yeah, you're back into a homeland you don't really recognize, you know, because you're clouded, and yeah.
But he's so, you know, interested and appreciative of, this is the scene. I like this scene a lot because he's interested in all the little things, from the little child to the strawberries to the fresh milk. And, you know, he says things like, you know, I'm, you know, just so happy to be here. And when he says a little something about the strawberries or whatever, and Yoff says, "Oh, I wrote a song about that." And she says, "Oh, please, not now." And the knight says, "No, I'd like to hear a song." Like, it's all the good things about life. Family, good food, sharing stories, singing songs, a beautiful seaside. You know, all of that. He's just, it's recharging him, maybe. You know,
but he's honorable here as well when he
Yeah.
actually says that, like somebody just tried to, you know, do me in. He's like, no, come with me, come back to, you can stay with me at my castle, or, you know, my manor, you know, just, yeah, to keep you safe. They're not gonna attack you whilst I'm here. So yeah, if you want to be, you know, travel with us, you're more than welcome. I will protect you, kind of thing. So he's still got that honorability, I suppose.
He does, and he tells the story of his wife.
Yeah.
And he speaks of her very lovingly, and he doesn't know if she's alive or dead. You know, she could be waiting for us, or she might not be waiting for us. She might be dead already, but there's no way for him to know. But he's just, you know, he says, I wrote down, how unreal this all seems right now, sitting here with you and your husband, eating strawberries, drinking milk. It's like, you know, all the nice little things. All the nice little things. But just to disturb all the nice little things, he's back. Death is back. And they're going to resume.
Did you get bored? Did you get bored of our game? Or did you forget? I can't remember what you said. Like that, isn't it? There's a moment of, yeah. But yeah,
And,
you laid them out. We're going to play a game. But I like this. Again, it's great. Every time the chess set is there, I love that. Just they're doing their own thing. And he's talking to death over chess. But like how they're just, yeah.
So he says now, you know, he says, where have you been? He says, well, I gave away my strategy. So it kind of ran away. And then Death says, but you're smiling. And what are you smiling about? And he says, well, that's for me to know. And then Death says, did you trick me? And perhaps, you know, we don't know, perhaps the knight told his strategy and knew it was Death and told his strategy, but it wasn't really his strategy. Or is he just making that up right now? I don't know if we know that. But I also think him having experienced some of the little nice things of life makes him feel better about himself right now. But in the midst of a seemingly interesting conversation where the knight is talking about the nice day he's had with Joff and Mia and their little child, right? Says Death. And immediately the knight is thinking, that can't be good. That he's referenced, you know, the little child. So I think immediately the knight is thinking, this is my noble act.
Yeah.
I've got to save this little kid. I've got to save this lovely little family who have treated me with hospitality. And so that's what I'm going to try to do, is try to get them out of here.
But between that, again, so they're leaving, but before that, they go back into, like, well, the squire goes back into the bar or the pub or whatever you want to call it, a tavern, meets the blacksmith who's been drinking all night,
drinking his troubles away, but not doing a good job of drinking his troubles away.
Have you seen my wife?
Have you seen my wife?
Have you? Well, you've not even gone up searching for her, and he's like, well, It's yeah, and then he decides, yeah, well, can I come with you because you're going in the woods? She's got to be in the woods. Where he comes across, and then he's the drunken fool of an apology after he's like, I nearly got you killed. Give me a give me a hug moment, isn't it? It's a little bit of playfulness.
It's
like
funny,
that.
but they go through this whole rant on women. Like,
yeah.
You darned if you do, darned if you don't. It's hell with him, it's hell without him. The mother was the devil's own sister.
It's their fault. Like it's not your fault.
It's all their fault. It's all their fault. But yeah, I mean, this is your typical like drunken bar. I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry. I'm sobbing, I'm sobbing. Now let's hug it out, bro. It's just so typical. And here this is 1957 portraying the plague with a hey, let's hug it out, bro. And he's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. We can do that later.
And also he kind of tells that the blacksmith, well, I'm quite well off because I'm a good blacksmith. So yeah, he's got some money behind him. So yeah, he's in love with, what's her name again? You can
Lisa. We'll call her Lisa.
Lisa. Okay. But yeah, so off they go
He's part of the gang now.
Yeah. They all go, little merry bunch they are, off to go back to his manor house, castle, whatever you want to call it. I don't think they call it castle.
I think they say castle. Yeah, I do. I think they call it a castle.
Yeah. So they're off on their merry way when they come across.
Who did they come across? Like, is there only one road in this town? Who did they come across? Well, he's a blacksmith. He's got his sledgehammer.
I do like that. It's like, what's your weapon? Game of Thrones, isn't it? What's your weapon of choice? Like, no, got a hammer.
It could be a spear. It could be a dagger. It could be a sword. Nope. Got my hammer. Got my sledgehammer. So she's really playing up. She's like, oh yeah, I really don't like this new guy, and he takes off.
That he just literally scarpers. She's like,
I'm out of here.
They just come like, yeah, and he's just like, yeah, he gets his hammer, and yeah, off he gets, and then this is
a circle. They end back at the same place again. They're both running, and they run around in a complete circle, and they meet back in the middle again, which is very not smart.
Yeah, this is the theater bit. This is very theater, like the moment of betrayal, getting it back. This is you could see this on a theater stage. This whole scene. It's like where her forgiveness, like, oh, forgive me, I didn't know what I was doing. It was all his fault, and he like, what? So,
but you get the squire in the background, with all his little commentary. He's like he's like, yeah, right, whatever, And he's, now she's gonna cry, and she cries. Now she's gonna hug him, and she hugs him. So he's like, I've seen this all before. This is entertaining.
Yeah. So I bet they get it. He's gonna. She keeps on saying, "Avenge me," murder him, and he's like, "No,
murder him."
Alas, and he goes into theater mode, doesn't he himself? He's like, "I will do it myself," and of course he goes off and plunges his knife into himself.
It's obviously trick knife into his shoulder.
But everybody's like, "Oh no!" And until they all feel shame. The squire's got a little cheeky smile on his face, like in kind of that, and of course he takes off his beard, and his little things. But then he goes up into the rafters of a tree, and then who do we see? Is Death, and he's there.
This guy kind of deserved it, of all the people in the group, him and Lisa, they kind of deserve it. So I don't feel much sympathy for this ending for this guy. I don't.
Yeah, and it's that they're like, "What you doing? You stop cutting down the tree." And like, but like, I've got
to. It's your time.
It's your time. Like, we've got that. This is how it ends. This is that. And he's like, "But why? I've got shows to do. Like that. I've got clients to fulfill. Yeah, I've got a show. Like who's gonna? It's again. It's a bit of a bit of funniness throughout this whole sexual innuendos they've had with like, and he's an affair and all this little bit is a bit of levity, and it makes it a bit of, you can have, also you can have a bit of fun around death. You do not take death too seriously because we're all going to go there in the end. So I do like it. I think
I do like it too. Again, it's
Mhm.
not negative. It's not evil. It is, life is life and death is death. And you can't have one without the other. And
yeah, true.
He may be portrayed, to look evil, but he's got a job to do. He's got that job to do. It reminds me quite a bit. There are parts of this film artistically that I wonder if J.K. Rowling borrowed for the Deathly Hallows story.
I thought
Go ahead,
the same
Jake.
thing, Sandy. Just like the third of the Deathly Hallows being the cloak and him being the one that meets death as a warm embrace of friends. I thought the same exact thing.
Don't say that. She's already been sued once.
No. But I mean, the influence.
You could tell the influence 100%. And I didn't really even. So I didn't think it until you were describing how other people have kind of used death or portrayed death in a similar way since this movie's been made. And when you said that, immediately, because I think you mentioned the cloak being something about like a warm embrace or how we embrace, or maybe I read it in the chat from Daryl or somebody, but somebody said something along those lines, and I immediately thought of, oh, that's right, in the Deathly Hallows, it's the one who brings back the invisible cloak, or hands off the invisible cloak, I should say.
Yeah.
Is the one who's ready to meet death as a friend and take the warm embrace. I was like, oh, okay. It immediately clicked when you pointed that out.
I suppose it wouldn't be plagiarism because I think it's been so.
Oh no, it's like
so much. It's inspiration
historic,
because it's it's like a like what could you do that is poetic? You couldn't do that much about death because you've always got the outcome.
Exactly.
You cannot, and I think this whole movie is about that. You can't. You can't trick death.
Right.
You can hide.
You can escape it,
but you can't escape it. There's always going to be like that. Yeah.
And I think even just in general, the look and concept too. I mean, I don't know where the concept or look of the Grim Reaper started or where its origins are, but this idea of pale face, black cloak, I think that's a pretty common representation of death too, or just a heavy cloak or whatever it may be, skeletal face, pale face, depending on which version.
It is, and I mean, I think it's her influence. The things that influenced her go way back, mythology, and I think this is also it goes way back to what we see in the old paintings, what we see in the old writings. So I think her interpretation is one, and Ingmar Bergman's representation is another. But yeah, it's going to make me now think about this again to see if I can see all three, because the wand is trying to defeat death, the cloak is trying to hide from death, and the stone is trying to reverse or outlive death, right? So the three Deathly Hallows are all trying to, avoid death in different ways. So, it's, and also, I don't, if you've seen the film with the drawing of the story of the Deathly Hallows, it almost kind of looked like one of the representations that you'll see of the 10 figures kind of holding hands go. It's kind of that stickly figure too, black and white. It just made me think of that. So good. I'm glad I'm not the only one who. I know you're a Harry Potter. I know you're Harry Potter.
Out of the same thing.
Yeah. So he didn't make it, obviously. But the party is continuing toward the castle. And who do they meet up with? Our poor witch, who, again, as we go back in history, who were witches? Well, they were either people who had, some form of hallucinations or visions. They were individuals who had been, influenced by others to act a certain way. They were people who were just wrongfully accused for no good reason. In this case, we might say this is a person who definitely, had some sort of psychological or mental problems.
Well, can you imagine that now? Like, if you actually went back, and when was the Salem trials? Jay, you live near that.
The late 1600s, early 1700s.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys probably know better than I do, to be honest.
But you got to think, like, I bet a lot of them were maybe Tourette's, bipolar, multiple personality disorder. What is now literally you can manage it quite well if you go the right ways. And it's just it's a mental breakdown. It's like that.
And, a lot of them were just quote canceled.
Yeah.
They were just, this is the girl we all don't like. We're all going to gang up on her.
I want a new wife. I want a new wife. How do I can't divorce this new wife.
Yep.
She's
mob
a witch.
mentality.
She's got a cauldron in the basement, guys. We should do something about this. No, it is.
One person
not
thought
to make
they
light
saw
of it, but it is
something,
crazy.
and I don't like the people who go to Salem because they think it's Halloween spooky.
That's definitely what it's
so
become.
much different. Yeah, and it's actually right now today. It is so important to understand what happens when you give in to mob mentality, whether it's Salem or the McCarthyism in the 50s, when everyone was a communist, the Red Scare, all of that. It just, again, it shows like when one person tells another person and that mob mentality just keeps going. But here
it's crazy what fear can do to the masses.
It's
to
fear,
get them to
exactly.
do, I mean, this again, obviously, with having lived so close to Salem my whole life, it's always something that you think about it every so often. It's around typically Halloween. I know it is a little cliche, as we were just saying. It is that it's become like a Halloween spooky town type thing. But when you do think about it, it just blows your mind that that really awful things like that really happen. Like that was their answer to, like Stasis said. Sometimes, honestly, probably just things that are mental illnesses or issues that are totally manageable now, but just got treated with fear and misunderstanding and horrible violence. Just crazy to think of and just awful, but part of history. What can you do?
But that's the thing, is like when you look at the later, I suppose, when you go look at the time periods, it's like did like the art, the science, the literature that was coming out, the music, and then they'd be still burning witches. You're like, what?
It doesn't make sense.
It's like, what? Right? Yeah, she's a witch. Okay, believe you. Why? Because she.
But I mean, she's happens today too.
Larger than a swan. Does she? Swans float.
Happens today too, right? People who should be smarter, but just because, quote, a majority of people think this or a majority of people think that. Well, a majority of people, unfortunately, right now are so uneducated or undereducated. The lack of focus on science and education is just staggering. And to your point, and to other points we've made about the difference between European history and history here in the US, where we say, oh my gosh, I'm looking at a house from 1892 and it's amazing. And people say, are you crazy? I've got my, other places in my neighborhood are 500 years older than that. We know. But where you all were with science and music, and we were still struggling with it. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
I think Jade had a beam in our old house that was from the 14th century.
Yeah,
like that. An old, like a boat beam, like that one. Old things on that. So
it's just amazing. But there's no hope for her. They're going to do it. They're going to burn her. He gives her some alcohol and something to chew on. Probably.
Well, before that, he does a quite good speech. Before that,
he
wants to know if she actually has seen the devil, and she's like, "Why?" It's because I'm kind of curious to meet him. Not that, because he's like, as you say, he's lost these.
He's trying to learn about God, and he thinks the best way to learn about God is to talk to the devil.
If the devil, because I'm guessing that when he's praying, he's trying to get an answer from God. So if he out of that solution, well, if I can speak to the devil, then there must be a God. And that reasoning kind of makes sense if you actually think about it. So if there is a devil, there is a God. If there's a God, there is a devil. Like that reasoning kind of works out. So if you can speak to him, let me channel, let me see him, because then I will probably get my faith back. That's it. So.
But she can't help him.
Which one is it?
She says, yeah, she says he's, he's with me all the time. I hang out with him all the time. But I think he realizes that she doesn't have her right senses. Like he realizes there's something wrong and nothing can help her. And they're stoking the fire, and death is standing there ready to receive her. But he gives her alcohol, and I'm guessing it's not opium. I'm guessing, I'm going to do some research on this. It might be some form of a psychedelic mushroom or something, some kind of herb that he's
you will
given
not
her.
feel the pain, doesn't it? You will not feel the pain.
And they would do that in during the the reigns of Henry VIII and then Mary, when someone was being burned, as a heretic. Helpers were allowed to come up to them and give them something, either some kind of herbs, lots of alcohol, or in the case of some, gunpowder around the neck, so that when the flames reached the neck, then an explosion would occur and death would happen quickly. And that actually was portrayed quite well in one of the episodes of The Tudors, where someone came up and put a bag of gunpowder around the neck of someone who was being.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Fun facts of the day, people.
Fun fact of the day and that was allowed. The guards allowed that to happen. Anything to they weren't torturing you at the point where you were being executed. In those cases, other forms of execution are quite gruesome. Fun things to do when you're visiting London is to go to all the execution tours.
The old medieval things.
Yeah.
Like,
but is that his good deed? No.
So you look at it, you look at some things, you have to like twist your head. It goes, how would that work? And then you realize, you're like, oh no, I only realize where that bit's going. It's like, it's some of it is really terrible
really
and horrible.
Gruesome. It's really gruesome, but it is such a part of your heritage that has been exploited today. We don't have that here. Thankfully, we didn't have all the, we were hopefully past all of those methods of torture. We had a few, but
every country, civilized society, didn't they? Everyone from the
Moors,
the Ottomans, onwards, the
the dumping
Persians,
chair, the Catherine wheel. Oh my
just
God.
go on. Yeah. Some be like, oh no. Yeah.
What a crazy job to have to come up with a new worse torture device than the last one.
I saw one going around, like say, like TikTok. There was one where they used to. It was called it was for men that got caught having an affair.
Already sounds like it's not going to be good.
Yeah, and it literally you had to sit on a horse. It was a horse or a donkey, it was like a just like the whole back of it was just a spike like that, like a big like razor blades. It was and they had to get sat on it and then slowly get. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
And I was
was a theoretical thing, or actually?
No, they did it. Did actually do it. So you got hoisted onto it and sat on it, and it would split you slowly. And that's it. I think they're the ones that are bad. Is like when they did it slow. Like, if you.
Well, that's why the hanging, drawing, and quartering is the absolute worst.
That's kind of how to torture, I guess, right?
That's it. But out in front of a crowd. And these ones were like you're getting done, so you're out in front of a crowd, and that's it.
It was entertainment.
It was entertainment. Yeah, watching this person get completely.
Boop, boop. Thank God we have Netflix now.
Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes it's Netflix and torture. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Netflix can be torture of its own kind. That's a really good point. But I'll take it over that horse thing.
So she burns, but not screaming, and they watch, and and then they get back on their journey. Again, he has the chess piece running out, everything like that. Where then they encounter again. What was his name? Sorry, Sandy, gone.
The Ravel.
Now he's come across them shouting in agony
somehow. I'm not sure if they're just doing laps around this village, but this guy just keeps showing up everywhere.
Yeah, and he's shouting for water. I need water. Because
he's dying of the plague.
Got the plague.
Can you just give me some, mercy? Can you spare some mercy? I'm dying. He's writhing around, and the housekeeper, I think her name is Karen with an I. Karen wants to help. She is moved by him, and the squire says there's nothing that can be done for him. Like, don't do it.
Yeah,
There's
it's a
nothing that
waste.
can be done.
It's a waste of water, really. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
It's like
Yeah.
waste and a risk.
Yeah.
You don't want to catch whatever he's got, so it's like really not the smartest thing.
But yeah, and then he shouts in agony and dies.
Very theatrically.
Yes.
Very theatrically.
Yes. If you're gonna go like that, that's all.
Yeah, you gotta make the most of it.
Whilst then our knight looks up, and who's turned up? Death.
Death is back to finish the game.
Mm.
And he's trying to take his time.
But he's also said, "Are you here for because of that?" And he's like, "Maybe, maybe not." You know.
Yeah, and he's up on the hill. Is the family, and because Yof, because Yof has the gift of vision, he sees Death playing chess with the knight. She thinks the knight's been playing chess by himself. She can't see Death. So I suppose that just the knight and Yof are the only ones who could see Death. He sees, and he quickly decides they need to get the heck out of there. And he and the knight do exchange a look. And the knight's going to try to take his time. And this is the noble deed that the knight's going to perform. He's going to do his best to help this family get away from Death. And even one point, Death says, "No one escapes me." And as they're playing, the knight adjusts his cloak and knocks over the pieces. And he says, "Oh, well, I don't remember where my pieces were." And the Death says, "Well, I do." "No problem. I know where they are." And he resets all the pieces. But in that time, the family has an opportunity to kind of pull up stakes and head out. And they are heading away. And the knight has has lost. It's checkmate. The family is going as fast as they can away from there. Now,
in a great storm.
In a big storm, yeah. Now, Death doesn't take the knight at this time. It doesn't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
When I see you and your friends, you will know it is time or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. It's not like that, yeah.
So they keep going on to his castle. And the family, they've gone their own way, I think back toward the beach or the water in a different direction. But the knight and his company have made their way.
Well, they've pinned down for the night because it's terrible storm. So they're hoping for the best. Yeah, whilst he's arrived at the castle.
At Castle Block,
where everybody's gone, except for.
But amazingly, the torches are lit. So someone must be home. And it's his wife, and they look at each other as if they don't recognize each other. It's been 10 years, for goodness sakes.
And they were teenagers, so.
Yeah. And she says, "Don't you even remember me?" And, well, again, as you said, coming home from war, you're a different person. You're not the same person that you were. But amazingly, she's got food ready for breakfast. He says, "Please prepare breakfast for my friends," or something to that effect.
Well, then she reads what we hear.
Oh my gosh! What to read at the breakfast table? Good
I know.
Lord.
Can you imagine that? I'm like
revelations while you're trying to.
I'm having my eggs and bacon. What are you doing like that? Can you imagine that every morning? You'd be like, "No, we're gonna have serious words. Can we put the radio on at least?" Yeah, it's.
I mean, the last thing I want to hear is the last piece of the book of the end, the end.
I bet you people do this though. I bet you there are people out there.
Oh, I'm sure there are.
Might be doing late, the most dismal, like start off your morning with the worst, like the end is near, you're all gonna die. God, oh, here she goes again.
Sounds. And okay.
She's a witch. She's a witch.
Have a nice day, everybody. But yeah, they're sitting around the table.
And then was it a knock knock?
There's a bang 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 on the door, and so Jans goes to the door, and after a bit he comes back and says no one there because he can't see death. But he knows. Yeah. He knows it was death at the door, but he couldn't see death. And a few seconds later, everyone turns around. Karen stands up, and everyone introduces themselves to Death. They treat him quite politely, call him a, lord or master, etc.
Well, she invites him in for if you want anything to eat.
Yeah.
The hat. Well, I can't remember. What do you call her? She's like quite.
Karen. Yeah.
She's quite open, teary, but happy to invite him. Like she's happy to kind of see him.
Death. Yeah, I think she's ready for death. Then, the night, he kind of puts his hands to his head, says a prayer. This is it. But he's at a place where he knows this is it. He's done his good deed. He's gotten the family away, and that is his noble deed before he meets his death. So for all of the terrible things that he did during the Crusades, his conscience can at least feel a little bit better that he was able to have this noble deed. And then you see them on a beach, and it's bright, and it's sunny, and they look happy. And at least for today, they've avoided death. But they not all of them. Yulf is still having his visions, and he looks up on the hill and he sees that Death is holding hands with the rest of the party.
A dance, is it?
Dancing up a hill. And they're dancing up a hill. And there's artwork to that effect as well. And I love, again, the black against the gray sky up the hill. And now I need to tell you that this last scene was not planned for the film. That it came to Ingmar Bergman after the film had ended. The film was supposed to end on the family together having avoided death. The next day, these clouds rolled in. Looking up on a hill, he said, "Oh, I need this final shot." But all the actors were gone. So these are random people that he scavenged up to wander up a hill and look like they were dancing on a hill. These are not the actors, and this wasn't planned, but it's a really cool scene. And then we have...
Did we lose stasis there?
The end. I don't know. What do we say in Swedish? Is it Finn? Is it Fin? What is the end in Swedish?
No, I don't know what it is. The end. The end. No, we don't, because they run a little bit and then the family walk off, don't they?
Right.
I don't know what it'd be.
Beats me.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't.
Ta-da! Daryl said ta-da. I think it's ta-da.
Ta-da. That's it. I know, like, goodbye is hi, but that is in Danish. If you know them, I don't. Yeah, so yeah.
So, gentlemen, not our normal film.
Well, hold it. Did you want to talk about this?
I do, but super on the artistic side for sure. And this is the painting by Dürer that served as some form of inspiration for the story. This is the knight or the noble playing chess with death. Death here represented like a skeleton. And I think in some artwork, you get the skeleton with the cloak. In some, you get the scythe, being the reaper. But yeah, this goes back to the 13th century, 14th century. Chess is a very old game. And here's, the noble playing chess with death.
Very cool.
So not our typical film. I hope it was an interesting experience for you both. Jay, what did you think?
I've seen it before, but yeah.
Or
so
James.
Yeah, I think Jay, like this got to be. Is this your? I've done art films before, but Jay, art films. It's an art film, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely an art film for sure. I would say interesting experience is kind of the perfect way to put it. And I do mean that in a good way. I know sometimes I can sound a little snarky, but I don't mean it to be. It's definitely it was a tough watch. It's a bit dated, and I don't generally love the kind of strong feel of stage to film when it comes to some old films that kind of go a little too heavy into it. I just don't feel like the two mediums match up all that well to kind of be done together to that extent. I think respectively, they each have different styles to them for a reason. So in that kind of, I like to call it, at least, and I could be wrong in labeling it this, but I like to call it kind of a transition era in film where, actors were figuring out how to bring, stuff from the stage to screen, but without feeling so on the nose about it. So I think there was a big transition era where a lot of old films or TV shows, things like that, do have that feel, and it's worked its way out. And obviously, now there's a distinct difference between film and stage, but I think I'm maybe just too accustomed to that difference nowadays with some of these old ones. I can appreciate everything this film tried to do or was doing in terms of the kind of profound existential questions and all that, and I'm sure it really stuck out at the time frame when this movie was released, because I don't know that a lot of films were, kind of taking on that kind of stuff or that material, or those themes, or just, beyond that, really just life questions. Because I mean, they are questions we all have when it comes to, why we're here, what's the purpose, all that kind of thing. So I respect a lot about what this movie must have been at the time and what it is to film, because I did a little research on it afterwards, just because I was kind of curious. I wanted to see why it was so regarded. Because I will say, and this was a little bit of a flaw for the movie while I was watching it, I was so thrown off a little bit by the kind of way that it's made or the way that it's acted and done, that scenes just felt a little random. Like I couldn't really understand how these characters were going to connect until you got towards them all being together. It felt like just jumping from this group to that group in a weird way. So it just kind of got me so focused on trying to make sense of that I unfortunately missed a lot of the allegory that I think is well done. And I was able to kind of pick up on it, as you did a brilliant job kind of breaking this movie down today, Sandy. So I almost want to watch it again just to kind of try to pick up on more of the artistic nature of it and what they're saying without saying type of thing. But yeah, so unfortunately that did kind of hurt, at least in the first watch, hurt it a little bit for me, that inability to really focus on it as much as I would have liked to. So I have a lot of respect for it. I would like to watch it again just to see if I could get a better viewing experience out of it now. But if I'm putting it on the general scale that we do, I put it at about a 5 for me. A very interesting 5, one that I'd like to go back to.
Interesting 5.
Yeah, like not a 5 that was like, oh, it was fine. Like it was a very interesting 5 that I'd like to come back to at some point. Now, recommendations. This is probably another one for me where I say, if we're talking general audience, I probably wouldn't recommend it to everybody, because I think you got to really kind of be into, film at just in a different way, not to try to be like snobby, like, oh, film club, we like all, like, just in general. I think you have to be a little bit more open to than just the general audience type of films. So for people who are, I'd absolutely recommend checking it out. It's super interesting, and I think it's heavily regarded, as far as I know, as a piece of art, and how it's been, masterpiece, I would say. So even if it wasn't necessarily my cup of tea first time through, I would still say, if you're into movies, it's worth checking out just to make your mind up on it. There's a lot of great arts and paintings that I don't really get it, but a lot of people love it. So you can't just go by my opinion on that. Definitely check it out for yourself.
Well said. Very well said.
Thank you.
James.
Now, before I do that, I'm going to finish the poll. A lot of people really did want to see Twister.
We did.
I did. I voted for it.
33% Twister, 11% Pin the Towel and Donkey, of course, 44% Chess, and Rock, Paper, Scissors, 11% anyway. So I'll end that. But I want to make a movie now. Just Twister, Death. There's like we had snakes on a plane. I still can do that.
Fair enough.
Death and Twister on a death Death on a Twister. I don't know.
Death Twister. There you go.
Oh, you've got a Death Twister.
We've got it. We've got a pitch. Now we just got to get it somewhere.
Oh my God!
Be mad enough to read that.
Copywriting this idea right here. Someone.
Well, you've already got. Was it cheesy Jesus?
Cheesy Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus. There we go. Now, for me, I remember watching this thing that I must say I thank you for having like a Swedish movie, because there was parts of it that, of course, Danish and I know a lot of Danish and then Swedish are very similar. I stopped watching it at parts and I still followed it along because I got it. And then I kept on going back. And then bits I was like, oh, I better just in case I got it wrong. And then my translation in my head, then I realized was wrong on the subtitles because they don't have the word in English. So there were certain bits like I found it wasn't too off, like, you know, but I did find it funny. And I was like that. And I just was like, oh my God. And there was points and I stopped reading the subtitles because it is very fluid in the actor's ability to give that narration. You don't really need you don't. You
can really follow it. Yeah.
But yeah, so to have that, I did like it in Swedish. I really enjoyed a Swedish movie. I like that kind of thing. For me, I get what Jay says. I'm going to be really big on that way because I hate Shakespeare and stuff like that. I hate Shakespeare on TV. I hate Shakespeare literature. I'm not a literature person like that, but I get when it's on theatre. I get it. The theatre moments. I think there's certain things where you go amazed by it. Like I always going to say it because it's very similar. Waiting for Godot. I don't think that would ever work on a movie or TV thing, but on stage,
it didn't work for me on the stage. I went to a terrible production.
Okay, I had Sir Patrick Stewart and Sir Ian
you
McKellen.
Had the goat, the goat. Okay, and I had
they did. You saw them do this?
No, Waiting for God.
Sorry.
It's exactly
gotcha. Okay,
so two old people who are waiting for God. Is waiting for death to collect them.
Interesting.
And so
I had really Ben Whishaw, and it was terrible. Terrible. He had Sir Patrick and Sir Ian.
Yeah, you really can't do much better than that.
You can't.
Like, this is good. They're like, this is good. But there's things like that. I don't now. I love the cinematography. I love it. I just think, as Jay's probably right, it's a bit of a law. Like the beginning bit is a bit of a. Can something happen? There's nothing really happen until they get to the tavern. It's very. That's what I'm saying. You've got that part where it would work on a theater. It's just a bit too long, drawn out. There's not much doing. I think the opening 2 minutes of the movie. I don't think except for the dialogue over the top, nobody actually says anything. I don't know, but I love the cinematography. I love the acting ability. I give them to that because it's 1950s and they're doing a stage play. As Jay's right, is they just didn't realize. You know what? You need to change things now and again. But I like it, like the actor's ability to do the best for film. It's good that you can see it's low budget. It's it's there. You take it as it is. It's good for that. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would, because I think it's one where you learn how to do things if you want to be in film. That's it. And I can understand people loving this because I think the meaning behind the movie is more than the movie. I think when we've even had the conversations throughout the movie, it's all about death. It's about life. It's about religion. Was that heavily in the movie? Not as heavily as it should be, but I don't think it needed to be because it gave you snippets of to have that conversations. And I think that's why I would recommend this movie, because I think where you get those movies where you can have a conversation afterwards. You can have it like this one. You could see many people writing a dissertation about this. What is the meaning of death? And they would, okay, this movie is one of my, markers to do it. So I think it opens up that element of the meaning of life in that kind of sense of we end, we always get to death, like that things and surrounding around, the plague, the Black Plague, helps it quite well. Is like, yeah, you're all coming to me at the end. With everybody's coming to me at the moment, and yeah, and what is your last meaning to that? So I get that moment. For me, I'm gonna score it. I'd never do this, but I'm gonna do it because I was thinking a 6.5. I'm gonna go 6.5. I think, yeah. It's just because it's not.
I had a feeling a decimal was going to make an appearance today.
Yeah, we go.
I almost did a 4.5, but Sandy kind of, I helped listening to Sandy's explanation. Some of it kind of was like, oh, some things were clicking, and I gave it that extra 0.5.
Yeah, but these art movies have never been my jam, and that's probably why. Like, I like them, and I can sit watch them. But I think Jay's right. You have to be in the mood. You have to be in the mood to watch one like that. So, yeah, it's like you have to be in that kind of I want to be inspirational. I want to
I want to kind of challenge my thoughts. I want to see something that's more of a work. It's something you have to. I mean, honestly, the easy way to put it is you have to be interested in something really artsy, because this is very artsy.
Yeah, you come back from somewhere and you go, oh, I need to figure out, I want to watch that, yeah, it would be good to things. But for me, I don't dislike the movie, and I think you're right, it's an interesting movie. I think it's just, if you did it now, like, it is just they haven't learned the tricks of the trade, if they were like to theater to film.
It's almost like, and I kind of just thought of the way I would put this to kind of not ramble when I was describing it earlier. It's almost like even though this might also sound like a ramble, it's like in a play when they kind of like, all right, they're going to do a scene, then they're going to drop close the curtains, change the scene, change the background, and bring everybody from the next scene in. And it could be a totally different cast of characters, but it just works because you're at a play, you're ready for those kind of abrupt change. You're not going to have that connective material of how you get from scene to scene. It's just going to be an abrupt curtain drop, change the set, new actors, go. And it feels very much like that in how they tell the story until all the actors get together. Once they're together, it feels a little less because they're all kind of part of the story, going along together at that point. But when you're trying to meet all them and see where they're coming from and how they're going to get together, it feels very much like, curtains drop, change the set, new actors, go, curtains up. And it just feels like it keeps redoing that. And it's just a little disorienting as you're trying to make your way through that portion. And that was 100% another ramble. So I don't think that made it any clearer. But that's how I felt.
Quite good.
Sandy, go.
Quite good. Well, I'm going to talk just for a brief moment about some of the background information. We've already talked about most of these points, but again, the film was based on wood painting Tramalning, which was a play written by Ingmar Bergman to showcase the talents of his 10 theater students. And I'm so sorry, I should have screenshot it and now I can't find it, but there was a recent production and a more contemporary production of the story with people in, modern, careers and modern costumes and what have you. And it was the 10 characters kind of sitting on a stage, kind of like this painting here or this snapshot here of one of the early theater companies doing the wood painting play. It's not the original theater company, but it's one of the early theater companies. The film was released.
Sandy, sorry for thinking. I think that's quite true what you kind of just said. This could be set in any time period.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be the Black Plague. It could be modern. What that
it could be, right? And all the, it doesn't have to be a smith. It could be an architect, and it could be, the knight could be a doctor.
The actor's a streamer.
Could be anyone, anywhere. People kind of thrown together into a, death is coming, and I just got a horrible thought. Okay, so we won't compare it to a really god awful television series with a what's that word, nominative determinism, when your name determines what you become. Like if your last name's Baker, you're more likely to become a baker. But the television series Lost, which actually ended up being a really lost story, I guess that might be kind of a modern, because they are all dead. They're just trying to I'm sorry to spoil the series for anyone who didn't see that god awful series, but they are all dead, and they're just all trying to find their way of understanding how they reconcile being dead. but that's probably not where the script wanted to go. It was one of those ones like Game of Thrones where they kind of ended it because they couldn't figure out what to do with it. But back to this film. As I mentioned, it was filmed in just 36 days throughout Sweden in various outdoor locations, which again has to be really tough to deal with weather. And the weather became a very important reason why the film is considered such a cinematographic triumph.
You say that 5 times really fast.
A triumph of cinematography.
Is it cinematographic? Is that
cinematographic? Anyway, it's like I keep on my streams, I keep running into bed and breakfasts, but I think it should be beds and breakfasts or beds and breakfast. Anyway, let's go to the numbers. This is in US dollars. I don't know what it was in Swedish kron. Is it kron? Crowns? Krona.
You just add, if it's like $10, it'd be like 100 krona. That's the easiest way. Yeah.
So in already pre-converted into American dollars per Box Office Mojo, this was made on a $150,000 budget at the time, which adjusted for inflation would be 1.8 million, just nothing, a very, very cheap budget. It slightly more than doubled and made $312,000 in the box office, largely international box office versus America. So, largely European box office. That would be 3.7 million today. Again, when you double what you put into it, that's a success. However, you will not be surprised to find out the kinds of awards that this film won. It was all the artsy awards. It won the Cannes Film Festival Palme d'Or in 1957 and the Jury Prize, which is rare that a film wins both. In 1957, it also won a whole other host of Critics' Circle awards. None of the big awards because it wasn't a large release. But as far as Ingmar Bergman, when I saw this film the first time, it was when I realized, oh, this is an Ingmar Bergman film. I've heard that name before, but I don't think I've ever seen a film. But I know he's a very highly regarded filmmaker. Over his lifetime, he received 9 Oscar nominations, but didn't win. He did win a BAFTA Fellowship in 1998 and has just tons of other honors, not the great big awards, but again, many nominations and recognition for the work that he did, which is artistic film work. It's not a film that I would have sought out, but I just happened to sit down and watch it and I liked it. And I saw it the first time without the subtitles and the second time with the subtitles. It's a movie that makes you think for all the reasons we've discussed. I rated it a 7. I do recommend it. I think you need to see it. I think you need to appreciate of course, the cinematography, appreciate the themes, appreciate that it's a simple film that makes you think. I do realize and recognize the challenges that you both brought forth with regard to putting, a play to screen. And it is very rare that it works. I think one of the best examples of play to screen is Glengarry Glen Ross. And when you think about that film essentially takes place in an office and a Chinese restaurant and in the street in between the two. And when I saw the play, that's exactly what it was. You were the stage rotated. And so you were in the office and the stage would rotate and then you'd be in the Chinese restaurant. That worked. I think that's tremendous. And there are many, many other examples. I do think some Shakespeare works very well on screen. But it is a challenge in this case. And, for that reason, I didn't rate it higher. But I think it certainly is something to round out your catalog of film. And if anyone feels like maybe they're stuck in a certain genre, if they're only watching MCU films or they're only watching rom-coms, this would be a good palate cleanser. This would be a really good, it's not a horror film. That's why I put it into fantasy because it's not horror. It's not pure history. It's not pure drama. It makes you think, and it makes you think beyond the realm where we are today. And for that reason, That's why I put this film on the Wheel of Film, and I appreciate both of you and your thoughts on it as well. So thank you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think this is the probably one of the most different ones we've got on there. So yeah. It's good.
And I think that's a great point, Sandy, about it just being something to kind of just expand your palette a little bit, or expand your kind of resume of films you've seen. You know, that because immediately after watching it, I did feel a little bit of that, where I was like, you know what, that was really interesting to kind of just dive into some artsy black and white. It's something I've never dove into before, so I couldn't agree with that more as somebody who experienced it watching it.
Yeah, you wouldn't see many youngsters go, I'm going to watch that tonight.
Right. Like, and then when it was on HBO Max, I was shocked because I'm like, I've scrolled through everything on HBO Max and this has never jumped out at me once. And it was kind of just like, that's a great point. Like, it's very rare, you know, for no, you know, not even judging a book by its cover type of thing. I just didn't even know it was there. And I've scrolled through just about everything. I would have never stopped on The Seventh Seal to watch it because I would have never really known what it was or had heard of it or anything. So yeah, no, you're right. It's not something that I think a lot of people would just sit down and pop on a Friday night, but I'm very glad that I did exactly that.
Sorry, just had a sneeze. No, I think it is. I think like that's what I said. You have to recommend it. I think just like the black and white era, people don't watch enough. And I think even if it's not, this is an art black and white movie, but I think it's even that if you're getting into film club, literally our back catalogue is getting there, especially next time. It's the 50th. What's the thing? I can't believe Jay didn't see this one.
I'm going to be honest. I totally forget. What is it again?
True Romance. Quentin.
Oh, that's right.
In the background. Right. I've only seen it like in the background on television. It was probably an edited version. So yeah, I don't think I've actually sat through. I mean, I remember Christian Slater. I remember Brad Pitt, Gary Oldman.
Is it Tony? Is it one of the Scotts?
Tony Scott. Yep.
Tony Scott. Yeah. So he after they were like, no, you're not going to direct it.
Like, no, we can't allow you to do that. No.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Well, I want the end to be the beginning to be the end, and then in the middle bit we're going to put there, and everything.
And then Elvis shows up.
Yeah, and Elvis. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer.
R.I.P.
As Elvis. Kilmer. Yeah. Aww. It's like that. But it's like a gangster thriller. It's got a bit that we're going to have to discuss in a very layman's term because of YouTube, but it's one of the greatest scenes of all time with Christopher Lee and what's his name? Oh, we've got to look out there. He died. What is his name? Oh, Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. Oh, the
that
dad.
scene. That scene.
Why did he just come up recently? I was talking to some friends about the 1993 Mario
the
movie.
Original one.
I'm like, why did Dennis Hopper just come up twice now? I couldn't think of that's what it was. We were talking about that god awful Mario movie.
What was he in that? Was he?
He's in the Mario movie.
Yeah. He's King Koopa. I'm almost positive. Let me double check here. Because
Bob Hoskins is Mario.
Yeah, Bob Hoskins is Mario. Leguizamo is Luigi. It's right in the top of my IMDb too. Because this was just a couple days ago. Yeah, Dennis Hopper, King Koopa.
Oh my god,
no idea. Had no idea.
He did a lot of crap.
I looked it up because we were randomly talking about the animated Mario movie because I friggin' love that movie, and I just got a Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch 2.
Did so I've been in like are you going to stream it?
I am working on getting that set up. They've got a pain of a docking situation where it's not just like straight HDMI. You've got to go Type-C to their docking station, then so I almost kind of want to get a second docking station because right now it's in my living room, so my wife and I can play Mario Kart together.
Nice.
But a long story short, it got me into Nintendo kick this week, so I started watching the Mario movie again. And a friend in group chat was like, "Oh yeah, got to watch the one with Dennis Hopper." I'm like, "Dennis Hopper? He wasn't in that original '93 movie." And then I looked it up. I'm like, sure enough, he was King Koopa. I totally forgot.
No.
Sorry. Side note there.
That's fine. I was just going to read out. We got Christopher Slater and Patricia Arquette, Dennis Hopper, Val Kilmer, Gary Oldman, Brad Pitt, Christopher Walken, Bronson Paquette,
Pinto.
Samuel
Jackson. We get him again.
Yeah, Chris Pine. It literally goes on. James Gandolfini.
James Gandolfini.
Yeah.
Before The Sopranos too.
Yeah. They've all got little small parts, but the cast is like, oh, the cast. And I love Brad Pitt's one. When you see Brad Pitt's one, you'll be like, that's funny. That's hilarious because he's like, what he does in it is quite funny. But that's our 50th. That's going to be fun.
50th. I think we're going to have maybe we'll have a little bit of a quiz for chat on our 50th.
I hope it's not for me because my memory is
well, these days. For the two of you
baby,
as well.
You can't blame the baby.
If you
when in doubt, I'm going to blame the baby. My memory's fried.
I always did a quiz. I did a quiz. I like that.
I'm going to give you some questions though, but we're going to see what were our highest composite scores, our lowest composite scores, the ones we talked the longest about.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, I know those two. I know highest.
We already know Lord of the Rings.
Longest. They may coincide. Lowest. I'm interested on lowest. I'm not sure.
What our lowest score collected?
I know which one mine is. But no. Save it for next week. It for next week.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
We're
going to
talk about
the
actors and actresses we've seen the most often. We're going to see the threads that tie together some of the films. We go from film to film, and there's always some sort of thread that kind of goes through. Although this one might be the outlier here. Well, death is a theme in True Romance too. So we'll have a lot to talk about. I just can't believe it's been a year. I cannot believe it's been a year. We've not missed many weeks. We've had a few juggles in schedule. We've had a few specials and things that we've put in place, but it's been so much fun. And we have like 45 more years worth of films on the wheel of film. So we started out with how many, James?
200, something like 280, I think it was, and then or whatever, 200, something like that, and then we added
another 150.
No, we didn't add it. We added the what there we go. Jay's martial art films. I can see it is on that.
Well, we also threw a few. On
is
there,
that one of the options? I didn't know that.
That's one of the options. Yeah.
But we did throw a few on there though, like you and I put I put A League of Their Own on there after. So
we threw Spider-Man on there actually as I'm actually looking.
You were like, that's the thing is it will increase because you'll be like, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
To be honest with you too, there's so many more I could add because I think when this concept first got brought to me, I was trying to think, all right, what are the best movies I've seen? What are the best movies I've seen? And I never thought to just do some good ones, some ones that I like, some lesser tier ones that even I would rate as like a 6, but love it type of thing. So it could be an infinite list.
So we started. Oh my God, you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh so hard. We started. Oh no, it was 282, not 250. I was gonna say we started with 252 and we're at 302. That means we're right back where we started from. We've got 50 and we've got nowhere.
There, yeah. No, 312.
No, that's good progress for a year.
Yeah, we've gone up. Yeah, it's okay.
But at least so it's 282 minus 301 is that can't work out be right. No, I'm doing it wrong. What am I doing? Don't it's 301 minus 282, which is just that's not normal. So there's, and then, so 50 minus 10 is 1 and 3. So we've, so even though it will be our 50th film, we've only gained 11. We've only moved 11.
Right.
Excellent. That is
okay.
Great.
So we know where this is
add
going.
Anything. We didn't go backwards. Too much, so I'll take it. At least we got 11 films off.
Well, but I didn't add all the special categories, so we've actually gone backwards.
I know I've not added all the genres on there. Could have gone mad on that.
We have gone backwards.
Well,
Jay.
sometimes you got to take 2 steps back to take a couple forward.
Well, now, James, congratulations on your highest film club views.
Yes.
Oh, well, Lord of the Rings, yes.
Lord of the Rings.
Ours, not just ours.
Ours, but it's on your channel. So great job there.
When I said recent, it wasn't the recent leader, because when did we do Saturday Night Fever? Was that at the beginning?
Yep, that was like,
oh wow, yeah. So that wasn't even a recent leader. That one held the title for a while.
17th of August, and I was like, that is mad. Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
I was like,
people love that movie, I guess. Who doesn't want to dance?
We had a good conversation about how awful all the characters were from that film.
There we go.
Yeah.
But I think, and I'm going to say this has to be Jay's pick. This has to be one of Jay's.
I feel like I'm a little overdue. I can't remember the last one I had.
Well, look at it. We've
had Whiplash, maybe.
Whiplash was you.
Yeah, that was 17th of May. Your last.
Wow. Oh yeah, I'm on a drought here. We gotta get a
Jay. And Sandy, you've been on a bit of a roll.
I've had too many. I feel like I've been quite greedy.
Well, mine's next, but you have been a bit. You've been a bit lucky. So I'm gonna give it, as always. This is it, chat. This is it. Kung Fu Hustler. Daryl, I thought you were there. And then it just went down. But let's do that. All right, so we're gonna shuffle it 5 times, and then we're gonna go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course the count. Jay's pick. Oh, that'd be good.
Come on, Jay.
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
All right.
Whatever you want.
Let's see it happen.
This is gonna confuse it. Here we go. Right, 1. It's not gonna happen now.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Sandy.
No
2, 3,
Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We're gonna have another 7-hour stream.
5.
Come on, give me Jay's pick.
Yes!
Oh, all right.
We got it.
Hey, we got one.
Let's go. Okay,
Jay's
I think I know which one this is going to be. Because
I watched. Oh my god, it's not going to be like a Boston Red Sox documentary, is it?
Man, I wish I should do Fever Pitch, so you guys have to sit through Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore as Red Sox fans.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, do you need a moment?
No, I kind of want to go with my gut and just pick the one I want to pick because I just watched it recently, and when I watched it, I thought this will be my sports pick.
Is it on the wheel? This film. Is it on the wheel?
No, it's not.
Oh, so it's not Moneyball.
It's not. Yeah. Well, that one's on it, so I don't want to pick that one.
Okay, hold it. Okay, before we do it, tell us a sport. I'm gonna go for basketball.
Hold on. I just really want to make sure. I want to make sure.
It's running. It's Chariots of Fire, of course.
Well, I'm guessing it's
no. I'm going to go with this one because it's lighthearted. It's a good story. It's a total different change of pace from some of the stuff we've done on here. It's not the greatest movie, but I love it, and it's such a good story. And ironically enough, it's called The Greatest Game Ever Played. Shia LaBeouf. It's a golf movie. It stars Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, okay.
I've never seen it.
I adore this movie. Anytime me and my friends do one of our golf tournaments, I watch it before every golf tournament. I love it. It's just a good, wholesome, great story of an underdog. And well, sorry, I don't want to spoil my review of it now or my opinion on it now.
There we go.
That's what we'll do. The greatest game ever played.
Okay.
Nice. Looking forward to it.
I think I've seen it once. I think I have.
I definitely haven't.
It's for probably like right before Shia started doing Transformers, like between when he was on Even Stevens and doing Transformers. Yeah. Another great, just side note, another interesting Shia LaBeouf movie. I think I've actually talked about it on here. It's called Honey Boy. It's him. I think he directed it, or he had a big part in writing it at the very least. It's a story of him, and he actually plays his own father in it. It's essentially the story of his childhood acting from the Disney Channel show Even Stevens through getting to the Transformers movies. It's all about, it's based on that, but I believe they use different names and different like projects that he was working on. But like when you see the stuff for the Transformers movies, it's like the character playing him is on a harness and there's big explosions. And when you see the younger character playing him as a child on the Disney show, it's like in all the same outfits he would wear on that show. So it's based on this, essentially that upbringing through his parents and his father, and really interesting story, and really shines a light on why exactly he went through what he went through. I recommend that one. Maybe it shows up on a pick one day, but yeah, it was just really cool to kind of see, more of, because that's the thing with these Hollywood celebrities, when they do go through those stints of just rough, bad behavior and just, crappy choices they make. everybody looks at the headline and judges, but it is always interesting when you finally get to peer behind the curtain and see what was going on. It just humanizes it a little bit more.
He
did that
looking
weird
at
thing
this
though, didn't he?
film, and it's directed by Bill Paxton.
It got good reviews in it.
1913. The late great Bill Paxton. God, I still can't believe he's gone. I still cannot. That one doesn't resonate with me that he died.
Was he just going in for dental surgery or something really simple, wasn't it?
He had
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
it was something really, it was like something really like
aneurysm,
really simple, and he's like, it was just like
he had an aortic aneurysm. Yeah, and then he had a stroke.
Oh.
And
Daryl starting rumors. He's scratch. He literally was on the he was PGA the other day. I'm just gonna start a rumor, Jay.
Oh, I wish. Sorry, I was just looking at the IMDb myself because I did not realize Bill Paxton directed this. That is news to me. But yeah, I wish, Daryl. I wish maybe one day.
I did actually watch some of the the Open. That was good.
Yeah.
And it's got Stannis. Stannis is in it. Stannis Baratheon.
Is
he?
Stephen Delane.
I've not seen it for so long. So like that.
Stannis Baratheon plays.
When was it released? It's got to be like an early 2000s.
Harry Varden. I don't know who Harry Varden.
Oh my God, that's right. It is Baratheon. Harry Varden. Yes. I did not even pick up. Well, not it is Harry Varden.
I like that
character.
It
is Stephen Delane. I didn't realize Stephen Delane. Excuse me. I didn't realize it was Harry Varden in that.
Yeah.
2005. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right around, I think that transition out of this was actually a Disney movie, if I recall. So this would have been around like when he did the movie Holes for Disney. He was kind of going from Disney TV to Disney Film and then eventually on to Transformers.
Yeah. And I think this is definitely our first, our only golf one on there.
Yeah, I think
we don't have any.
I'd have to imagine.
Yeah, I don't think like any other.
There's not a lot of great golf movies that I can think of, honestly.
Let's put it out there. There we go.
There should be more. It's such a good game. Such a good game. It is a great game, but the dramatics in it could lead to such great stories.
There you go. Oh, look at there you go. So
I have a book to read.
Remember the Titans, the Rookie.
Yeah, this was like that time. This one slipped under the radar behind a lot of it because remember the Titans was huge when I was a kid, as was Miracle.
That was massive.
The Rookie, is that the Dennis
Miracle's
Quaid one?
Awesome.
I think, right? The Rookie's Dennis Quaid.
I don't remember the Rookie.
Plays the older guy. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. But those were all really like.
I always remember that.
Especially Titans and Miracle, but this one slipped under the radar. Really good, but same quality as those.
Maybe golf wasn't just the like really.
Yeah, maybe just didn't have the popularity.
Yeah,
I mean, it did a bit obviously with Tiger Woods and all that at that era.
Later,
now the golf game is blooming, or booming, I should say. Golf, I don't think has ever been bigger, so maybe it would have hit better now. But
because there's the other one.
It's a great one to rediscover now if you've never seen it.
Oh, one with Will Smith when he's the caddy.
The Legend of Bagger Vance.
That's it. Yeah.
And I've never seen that one, but I've always wanted to.
It's good.
I've got to put it on the list. I have it on the list. I got to move it up the list a little bit.
Okay, it's in Audible, so I've just ordered the book.
Oh, nice.
Is it called The Greatest?
It's called The Greatest Game Ever Played.
And this is true story. This is a little bit of Boston versus England, actually. So there you go, Stasis.
We'll
have a little bit of that next week.
I'll get my shirt on. Yeah.
I believe Harry.
Make it a Scotsman. It made more sense if it was a Scotsman. I think it was there. And if we go by Churchill, how to spoil a good walk. Golf.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I think that is a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it.
Well, he hated it. Like that. Damn it. Having a good walk. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. Now I've got to walk that way.
Yeah, now I've got to go that way. And I'm looking that way. You have a bad day, you go left, you go right, you go right, you go left, whatever. It's like that. Hook, shank, damn it.
Slice my my arch nemesis that follows me like death and I can't get rid of it. It's inevitable. It's got all the signature traits of death.
About that.
The death of my golf game, I guess.
Has anybody seen Happy Gilmore 2 yet? I've not seen it.
God, I started the first 15 minutes.
Oh, don't. Rough. Is it?
It's rough. I do want to get through it. My wife actually wants to watch it, so a lot of my friends are talking about it in group chat, and all kind of saying the same thing. And I'm like, all right, let me just start like 15 minutes because I want to watch it with my wife. She
Happy
wanted
Gilmore's fun. It's a laugh.
Well,
it's a bit
but
silly.
It's funny you say that, Stasis, because that's what I was saying to my buddies. I'm like, all I'm expecting out of this is a fun return to the character.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I'm not expecting much. I'm not expecting Adam Sandler to make another iconic comedy like he did with Billy Madison, Gilmore, Big Daddy, Mr. D. You know, I'm not expecting that level. Just give me a fun return to the character. Waterboy, yep, absolutely. The Wedding Singer. I mean, he was on fire back then. Iconic comedies.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of duds ever since he started doing like the kind of the grown-ups and the bedtime stories and with Russell Brand, that one. I don't know if anybody remembers that. Jack and Jill.
Oh, yeah.
There have been some awful
horrible
ones that he's done.
That was really bad.
The Jennifer Aniston ones I don't think are very good. I can't think the Murder Mystery or whatever it is. So he's had some real tough comedies. I mean, not tough. They don't appeal to me anymore. I think they probably do well with younger audiences. You know, I think it's a little bit more kid-based humor than, you know, Billy Madison in those movies used to be, or Happy Gilmore for that matter. So, like, I wasn't expecting all of a sudden he's going to return to form, but I just wanted something that was at least fun. And I got to finish it. I only did about 15 minutes because my wife wants to watch it, and I didn't want to watch it twice. After I watched the first 15 minutes, I'm like, I'm going to stop here, so I'm not watching this twice.
That's not good, though.
Rewatching this first 15 minutes is already going to be tough. So
we'll need
I can't speak too much. I think I will since I'm going to
I will kind of watch it. It's Netflix, isn't it? It went straight to Netflix.
Yeah, straight on Netflix.
Well, I thought it was a bit weird. Yeah.
It just feels a lot. Well, he's got that deal with Netflix he signed a while ago, so all his stuff goes. Yeah, he got it. That's why all his ever since like that Hateful Eight comedy type thing he did. I forget what he called it. It was like something based on it was like a mock, not a mock or a parody, but it was some Texas Western that was like a name of like Magnificent Seven, I think, or is that another real one too?
That's a real one. Magnificent Seven.
It was a play on one of those type of things,
and
he called it the whatever 12 or something ridiculous. I think Tarantino might have been.
You got your Western picks. There's your Western
it was a play on that. It was a comedy. Once he started that one for Netflix, that was the first of like a lot that he's done for them that haven't just been my cup of tea. You know, if you like them, so be it. Not my stuff, but yeah, I was hoping it would be a return to that. I actually like his drama stuff more now. Uncut Gems, the basketball movie he did wasn't bad. Even the sci-fi space drama thing he did with Netflix was interesting. I didn't like how it ended, but it was more interesting than the first 15 minutes of Happy Gilmore too. It's a lot of member berries, a lot of celebrity cameos who cannot act to save their life.
Got his mates in. Yeah.
No, Stasis, it's even different. It's even more. Well, I mean, yeah, they are his mates, but it's not like back in the day when the same kind of act, you know, all those crew that would show up in those movies that could act and be funny would show up in them. This is like all your celebrity acquaintances and friends you must have just dialed up. Hey, you want to be in this? You want to be in this? You know, it's not like
people heard of you,
from back in the day, who's like the grandma's boys guys whose name I'm forgetting right now. It's not the same as that kind of calling up your friends to do a comedy. This one's a lot more like Eminem shows up in one of the most cringe scenes I've ever seen in my life. It's bad. You watch it and you're just like, ooh, this is awkward. Like, I feel awkward for the people who sat there filming this that day. It's not great. So sorry to anybody who might like it. And
no, I will watch it.
I don't mean to be, you know, so negative about it, but I have not enjoyed what I've seen so far.
I will watch it, even if I just have to take the piss out.
Yeah, the wife wants to, so I'll sit through the 2 hours and then maybe I'll just do a review on it, just so it's not a total waste of my time watching it.
Yeah. There you go. But on that, like, Sandy, you ever play golf? No. There you go.
No, I mean, yes. I mean,
I've
gone to a driving range, but because I have a lifetime of playing baseball and softball, I can't grip a golf club. I can't get the grip because my entire life has been gripping a bat and it doesn't work. So yes, have I played? I've tried. Let's call it a try, but nope, not interested. Can't do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Great
game, frustrating game, but great game.
You going tomorrow, Jay?
I am actually 6:30 in the morning. Leaving the house at 5:30. It's 45 minutes to get there.
Well, Jay, since you're a pro and everything, you probably don't go to. Do you have Top Golf where you near? Where you
actually, they just opened one up here in Mass. It's a little ways away from me, so I haven't been yet. But they did finally just open one up here.
So Top Golf, James. It's a driving range.
It's fun. It is fun.
And
I went to the one in Vegas.
Little GPS in the balls, and you play video. You're playing like video games with driving golf balls. So you're trying to hit different targets, and you get points. Right. So I do pretty well at that. My kids love it.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. So you play different games, and you try to hit different things in different orders, and yeah, it's a ton of fun. And there's good food, and there's a bar, so it's all good.
Yeah. They've got these. I don't know if you guys have these over there. You might, but they've got what you call beer towers, which is just a giant vessel for holding beer, and it's got a tap at the bottom of it. And they come to your table, and everybody just gets your cups, and you get as many beer towers as you want until they tell you can't have any more, and it's just a hell of a time.
There you go. I learned golf in Thailand.
You win.
No, when my dad was working out there, and he was like, well, I'm not going to be here for like every day, and I was like, okay, I've got to do something. He went, I know a PGA Tour guy here. Do you want to learn how to play golf? And I was like, go on then.
Sure,
so like that, and then like he was like, and he was really like I can't remember he was from Europe. I can't remember where he was from now, and he was like, "You're my first customer in like 2 months." And I was like, "Okay," and I was like that because the Thais at that time, golf, no,
not into
so he had his own. Nobody was there, just like that. He goes, "You can just do what we like. Nobody will come on." I was like, okay, like that, just like that. So like that, except for getting there in a taxi was the most dangerous bloody thing ever.
Oh God, I can
because because every taxi driver realized to get to the golf course, if you went on the dual carriageway, what will be your highways, and go head to head with the traffic, it will save you 20 minutes. So they literally would go head to head, and everybody would just at the last minute. You're like, oh, and every taxi driver I got would do exactly the same thing. They would realize instead of going all the way around, then I have to make a U-turn up the top. No, just cut across, turn onto the main carriageway, head to head, and then they can just flip across. And I was like, fucking hell. And I was just like, every time I just closed my eyes and that was that. And everyone, they went, they just don't care, because it's like a lot of them have head-to-head crashes, because some of them go, well, if it's our religion, their beliefs, God, their kind of God or whatever, meaning Buddhism, whatever,
we'll take care of
we'll take it and we'll move them.
Oh, good.
I was like, oh my God. That's why loads of people have like some bikes there, because it's just it's the divine will move them out of the way. Not you turning the steering wheel. Fuck that, or pressing the brake.
Yeah. That's the old way of doing it.
Yeah, the old way. Normal people don't go head to head with people. What are you gonna do? And I was like, but that's my thing. But since my injury, I haven't played for like a good 8 years, over 8 years. So yeah, shame. Still got my clubs. Trying to get my kid to play, get him to be the next.
Get the boy to play.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. I can't wait till I can get my son to play and head out to the golf course. Even my wife just the other day was like, I was coming home from golf, and she was like, I really can't wait till you can take him out with you. And I'm like, yeah, me neither. It's gonna be great.
Well, that's what if you'd be like they said what can you do? I always said it's either golf or cricket, and they went why is that? I went, because you get to go around the world in both sports. I went, but golf earns you a lot more money than cricket, but you get to see a lot of the nice areas in cricket if you get to be an international. She was like, oh, that's good. A lot of beaches. So yeah, it's you don't want to somewhere where it's always cold. Ice. I like ice hockey, but do you want to ice hockey?
Well, and now they've got that live golf. Whole league going on, which those guys are making crazy money. So there's a lot of money to be made in golf. Yeah, if you can just hit it straight and hit it far.
Yeah. Well, we should know, Jay, you are a millionaire.
This is true. Yeah. This is true. You guys can catch me at the next Masters
made in
next year.
Business school as well, people. So I still recommend the business school track.
Well, you could do both. You can be one of those. You can be a scholastic star and on the golf team and just work your way through college doing that. You can.
Can you have? Oh my God, you have golf scholarships. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Big ones.
Yeah, for sure. So you can the land of dreams. Yeah, you can do anything.
Yeah. There we go. But on about doing anything, Jay, what you've got coming up next? You're going to do some. I've seen you've had a few reviews. Did a gaming one,
more reviews, videos. I've been trying to, honestly, with life being a bit crazy and hectic lately with the baby, in all good ways, of course. It's been kind of my little decompressing time to just sit down and play some games quietly at night when he's in bed. So eventually streams will come of that, but right now I'm just kind of enjoying a little bit of that peace. So what I've been doing to make use of it is turning it into game reviews and things like that. So I'm trying to work on more game reviews, some movies as well. I do think I'll watch Happy Gilmore and do that, and then probably Fantastic Four as well, just because.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, I think I did Superman. I might as well just go see this one and do that. But then I also actually one I'm going to work on. I think this is a little late, but I have to mention it because I was so shocked by it and loved watching it. I watched it just yesterday. Hear me out. I know it's going to sound a little ridiculous, but K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix is actually really good. Yeah, well, so
it's anime, isn't it? It's anime.
Well, it's like an animated. It's animated in the style of like Into the Spider-Verse with that choppy kind of movement, and almost like has a digitally made look of like stop motion kind of character models. Okay. But then it's mixed with like some anime kind of mannerisms and kind of funny little faces and humor, like that, the physical kind of humor that anime uses. I don't know exactly how to explain it yet, so that's why I haven't done a video on it yet, but it's such an interesting, unique blend of all those kind of styles. The music, I am not a pop music person in general, but I can appreciate it when it's good, and I don't know anything about K-pop, so I'm not even sure the total difference between both genres. But I can appreciate a good song when it's good, and the music in the movie is really good, like surprisingly good. I would say like one of my recommendations of watching it will be turn the volume up, and if to a reasonable amount that you can, and enjoy the ride, because the music is so catchy. It's so well produced if you actually listen to how good the quality of it is, and not just it's pop music, whatever. No, it actually stands out as incredibly well produced, not some songs slapped together for a movie. It was almost, it was like real artists trying to make music. Again, still trying to collect all my thoughts and words on it, because I was so shocked by how good it was. Because I'll admit, a little bit of judging a book by its cover. I did not think K-pop Demon Hunters was going to be for me. I didn't think it was going to be something I'd watch. And then everybody was just talking so good about it. And this is the power of word of mouth. Yeah, the power of good word of mouth is that you might, for both, it works for great. For
how many episodes is it?
It's one movie, about an hour and a half.
Oh, is it a movie? Oh, I thought it was a series. Yeah. Oh,
no, okay. Easy watch. Flows really great because it's just fun. The action's awesome, well choreographed. The songs and the way they do the visuals all blends together wonderfully. I can't recommend it enough. It was such a surprising watch.
Wow.
In a kind of summer where we're starting off with the blockbusters being and I've kind of already thought about working this in my video, so bear with me if you hear it again in the video. But when we've started off this summer with a sequel of a movie franchise that's 30 years old, and then 2 reboots of superheroes that have been done before, and I guess now you can add a 30-year-old Happy Gilmore sequel to the mix. It's such a nice little unique kind of watch, and it was such like a nice palate cleanser. I admittedly have been listening to the songs since watching it, and it's catchy like tunes? total catchy K-pop tunes that I've never listened to K-pop before, but I'll be damned, it's good music. I don't know what to say. It's super catchy. So yeah, so check that one out, and keep an eye out for maybe not a review because it's already like a month old, but maybe like a review recommends type of thing, because I'm a little beyond the point of review, but I do just want to talk about it and tell people to watch it.
Nice.
Well, not tell people to watch it. Recommend that they check it out.
Watch it now.
More so watch just put it on your radar and recommend it.
Sandy, because you're the top YouTuber here, what you do?
Well, tomorrow
18,000 views.
18,000 today. It was just crazy. And I did a walking tour of Georgetown, kind of the residences, the residential area. And for some reason, some places I go attract a lot of viewers, and that's really cool. But working on a video about the films that were out 100 years ago, and how to do research on what your ancestors may have seen. Because when I teach about genealogy, one of the themes that I teach on is telling the full story, not just, some people just collect names and dates, right? When were they born? When did they die? Where did they live? How many kids did they have? But we want to tell fuller stories. Things like, what hobbies did they have? And did they play a sport? And could they play an instrument? And hey, what movies were playing when they were, when they were younger? And when you look at the history of film, which goes beyond 100 years, you may have grandparents or great grandparents that saw films 100 years ago. And so I started making a list of, it's hundreds of films that were out in 1925. And it kind of boggles the mind. But I'm just going to focus on the top 10 films of 1925. I am going to focus on Maryland and Baltimore, but the skills that I teach will be applicable to any location. So how to research where the historic theaters were, what resources to look for. Movie schedules were in newspapers, but they were also published elsewhere. So anyway, so I go through all that, and I'm hoping to get that wrapped up by the end of next week and get that published probably on my instructional channel, not on my regular channel. But otherwise, cool. I'm not going anywhere tomorrow because I'm beat. It was 90 some degrees today. I sweated a gallon today. I got back to my car and just downed. I had water in my backpack, but I didn't feel like taking the backpack off my back. I just downed like 2 bottles of water in about a minute. I do keep a helpful hint if you're out hiking in the summer is freeze a towel, like wet a towel and freeze it. And by the time you get back to your car, it's slightly thawed and it's so cold, and you wrap it around your head and it just feels so good. So I'm going nowhere tomorrow. I'm taking a break tomorrow for sure. Yeah, I don't know when I'll be out next, but I want to thank everybody for joining me and making for such good chat when I'm out and about doing my little walking tours.
Absolutely.
Nice. I'm going to a zoo tomorrow.
Nice. Yay.
Yay. No, going to see some friends. Well, Jay's friends, kind of my friends. They want to take Jackson to the zoo. So we're going to the zoo, and then she's kept it quiet, I think. It's my girlfriend's birthday on Monday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Nice. Happy early birthday.
Happy birthday.
So we got a little, not much planned, but she wanted to wassail it. What's it? She's got it already. She wanted it early. So we got that Kindle book. Kindle.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I need to stop. She's got a really bad habit. I don't know. This is that Sandy, as you, she doesn't like to make creases in the.
I don't like to make creases in the book. I know.
Yeah. It's like this. Like, she reads it like this. So I was like, oh, so they're like, no, just open it. And if I go to a book and I open it like a normal person,
no, you hear the crack and it just breaks your heart when you hear the crack. It's fine.
In fairness, Stasis, I'm sure you feel that way about your comics as well. So there's fairness there.
Too.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do have to buy 2. You always got to buy 2, no matter what it is.
That's why I always do. Yeah,
one out of the box, one in the box.
I do have some like
that. Well, actually, I have started to ease up on one of my rules about books, and that is inscribing them, because I was always about never writing in a book. But then when I started buying some old books that had inscriptions in them, and they're wonderful, so I started adding mine. So I do, when I give someone a book, I write a nice note in the book, whether they want me to.
I'm not been old boy. You can't do that in a Twilight. This is fucking shit.
There's no way I'm buying Twilight.
Yeah, but that was your mum's book.
So I do write little book reports. I have this nice little leather-bound book, and the book report I did write for Twilight was something to the effect of like, I wouldn't, I
wouldn't wish this on anyone.
I don't recommend this book. And I'm, normally I've started to adopt the idea that life is too short to read bad books. And I have stopped reading books that were really bad, but I couldn't because of film club. So this was a reason, like this was a spite. I had to finish this book for spite. and I don't like doing that. It was so terrible. God, that was terrible. How old is my mom, Daryl? My mom is in that generation that liked all like Interview with the Vampire and Twilight. I know she's like 13. My mom's like a 13. That genre appealed to teeny bopper girls and middle-aged women. And not to us.
It almost kind of dips into like the romance novel style of writing with that really cheesy kind of over the top romance. So I think that's, that it certainly it almost kind of took that model and brought it down towards the kind of teenage, audience level.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can definitely see why.
But she likes the Harry Potters.
Women were still into it as well.
And my mom got me into sci-fi really because she was a huge fan of Star Trek, the original Star Trek, and the Next Generation. So, so I can't fault her.
We forgive her. We forgive her.
Well, and they, when I was, before I was born or what, they were playing the Atari. They were the video gamers, and they would wait until my brother and I went to sleep, so they could bust out the Atari or Nintendo or whatever. And then we'd hear them playing and we'd be so sad that it's too late. We can't go play. No, but but we could play. We could play, but they would stay up late and like Pac-Man, not Pac-Man, Space Invaders all night long. They'd be like, this is where it comes from, people. It's genetic. It's genetic.
There we go. Talking about books, I think I've come down to my final 10 of my novel titles.
I have some pages to read. I have some pages to read now that I'm not reading any books.
Oh, you got a new one now. Thanks, Jay.
Oh yeah, you do. Should be a quick one though. I don't think it's a very long
after the Lord of the Rings. I have a break. I need a little break.
Feels like a break.
Yeah, I'll let Jay.
3-hour film club feels like a break.
Jay's more than happy. I gave Sandy my first 3 chapters.
Nice.
So that's it. So just to see,
but
it's more it's like what order it goes. I'm very confused on that order because you read it and you're like, yeah, go back. But yeah, cool. I'm very confused on how to name the novel. I'm like, now I'm down. So like that. So discussing it more. But yeah, it's all good bit of
fun.
I'm nice. I love
sorry
to see
to say
progress.
You can't use Breaking Dawn or Eclipse
New Moon.
God Almighty.
God, no, none of that at all. Yeah, but yeah, for that. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna do. So probably back streaming Tuesday. It probably will be the front just to keep it a bit light.
Oh, boo! I have to work this week.
Lucky. There we go. And then I've got another horror game downloaded. So like that after that weird game I did that click and play, that was quite okay.
Well, I just played a bad survival horror game. I mean, it's not bad. It's just it's like on the borderline of okay. It was called My Friendly Neighborhood. It was on Game Pass. It's like
that was the one you. Oh, that
yeah.
was
I just did a review on
Sesame
it.
Street.
Yeah, it's like Sesame Street or the concept of Sesame Street meets a horror survival game.
Oh yes, I saw. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
Really interesting concept and pretty good look to it, but the gameplay is just lacking. Unfortunately,
I was that close to buy it.
I tried it because it was free on Game Pass. I'm like, this is a really interesting concept. I never thought I'd see a Sesame Street horror survival game. And it's not. I mean, it's not.
Why not?
It's not awful. It's like it's almost just like it's fine. It's okay, or maybe a little worse than okay. But you can see the potential for a good game in it. It's just somebody needs to work harder to get it out of them. And I think it's like a small studio, so God bless them. They're trying, but yeah, it was an interesting one. Not one I would say I recommend buying or anything, but interesting if they ever make it better.
Yeah, I've got one that's on my radar. It's called The Lighthouse. It's a horror one, and it's from the guys. Familiar. No, but this is from the ones that if you've seen my streams, the ones that absolutely I shit myself, and I mean that really thing. If the ones games I'm like I really like, I don't want to play this anymore. Like there was the Amity one, the one.
I didn't like that one in the mortuary, man. That was.
No, this one was the one in the pyramid. And literally jump scares. I was like,
yeah.
this is horrid. This is horrid. And there was Homeless. And there was another one. That they're releasing this one. And I'm like, oh, I've just got to do it to myself, haven't I? I've just got to, I'm going to get it. I'll get that exactly. But that's coming out very, very soon, apparently. But yeah, this is horrid. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play. And you have to beat the game. So you like that. And then, yeah, so that'll be coming out. So if anybody wants to watch me kind of get absolutely terrified,
of course you do.
Oh my god, I get jumped at bloody of a wolf comes at me in the front, so I'm like,
oh, that keeps happening to me.
Yeah, turn around, it's a bloody wolf. Yeah, but everybody, thank you all for popping along for a lovely, not a 7-hour one. We couldn't do that. Again, that's it. But I hope everybody's enjoyed a little bit of something completely different. I hope everybody took their time out to watch a bit of Swedish, of the Seventh Seal. So yeah, thank you, Sandy, for putting it on the wheel, because I don't think it would have ever cropped up to watch it again. And so I very, very appreciate that was on there. But everybody,
likewise,
if you didn't watch it, go watch it now. I would recommend it, and just get it out your wheelhouse before you have to watch the next Marvel crap.
I almost kind of wish I watched it after Fantastic Four.
There you
so
go,
I'll probably be questioning life at that point as well.
Yeah, you do sometimes need that palate cleanser. Was it?
Yeah, that'd be a good one. But we'll follow it up with something. We'll see.
Yeah, but everybody have a great rest of the weekend. And we'll see you for our 50th. Our 50th!
Can't believe it.
Oh, film True Romance. And it's one of my girlfriend's favorites, so she will be definitely in chat.
Yay!
Yeah. But everybody, have a great one, and we'll see you definitely in the next Film Chub. Sub to these two. They're apparently really good streamers. Bye for now.
Bye.